So many facepalm moments.
I don't think it occurs to Darth that someone could disagree with, that could believe the scripture but disagree with him.
That's an interesting thought. Maybe you're right.
I don't think he was
definitely
prepared
right
for
on
you.
that.
You didn't fit any of his scripts. He had no clue how to deal with
Right.
it.
I think that troubled him a bit.
He had no. You broke him. He said it himself, man. You broke him. Like, he didn't say you broke him, but you broke him.
Well, you know, there's disagreements within the Bible to every Christian doctrine in existence, and I'm aware of them.
I just think it went really well. I think you had a retort for every time he had a statement, and I thought that I didn't need to really moderate. You did very well yourself. You moderated. Your point.
He should be embarrassed. He should not have pointed out more than once that I have not memorized the Bible cover to cover and only read it once. He shouldn't be pointing that out.
No, it was like the oddest thing that he was like, how is that a bad thing? You can't remember. Like, even I have trouble with that. Something. It's like, what? Like, how do you remember numbers and verses? Like, verses. Like, I didn't even know you were supposed to.
Find me a Christian, just a general Christian off the street who has actually read the Bible even once.
Yeah,
Oh, most of them
Found
haven't.
one.
They're-
totally.
I
You're
found
not a
one.
Christian. You're not a Christian.
Yes, I am.
You're a
You're
I
not.
follow Christ. I'm a Christian.
No, you're not.
To be fair,
Yes,
the
I
only
am.
requirement, literally, the only requirement to be a Christian, the only single requirement is to state that you are. That is it. That is the only thing that is required to
Have
be
you
a Christian.
accepted
Nothing
Jesus
else is
into
required.
your heart as your Lord and Savior?
Yes, I have actually.
Right, but all you've got to do is say that, right? You just have
No,
to say that.
I really mean it. I really feel that.
We have to take you at your word, right? Humans have to take you at your word. You can't say no, you're not. If you say you are, then you are, right?
Yeah, I
The only
self-identify
person-
as Christian.
The whole heart thing, if it's down to your heart thing, the only person that knows that is God. So
Right.
humans can't say you're not a Christian. If a person says they are a Christian, they're a fucking Christian, full stop.
So why do all the
Including
Christians go around saying
Nazis,
you're not?
including Hitler
Yep.
was
Well,
a
you had to
goddamn
do it.
Christian.
You had to do it. You had to mention the Nazis. Can we not have one stream without the Nazis?
Damn right.
Conversation is done. It's over. We mentioned Nazis. We're done. Ah.
Can we just point out live as well, how fucking cool is Critical Cripple's avatar?
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
It's the best. I'm very jealous.
You need to credit Bad Temper's Badger.
Credit who?
Bad
Yes,
Tempered Badger.
Spooky, you should thumb down again. Sorry.
Yeah, give me a thumb down. I want all the thumbs down. My rate
To be fair, it doesn't matter. It's all interaction. The algorithm can't tell the difference between a thumb up and a thumbs down. It's just an interaction.
That's exactly
so
my point.
people putting thumbs down is as much of a help as them putting the thumb up.
Yeah, that was
If they
exactly my
ignore
point.
you, that's
I
the
generally have 98% thumb up, which is okay and wonderful and thanks. But as I've said, I don't have fans. I have friends who feel sorry for me. So at least when I have thumbs down, I know that there's actual people out
Wait
there.
a minute. What the hell makes you think we feel sorry for you?
Well, it's a phrase.
We're actually all hate subbers.
hate subbers.
Yeah.
I'm a hate sub to Dale from Scotland. Per Dale, the flat earther. I'm a hate sub. Messenger, yeah. We've already got someone in the backstage, so if you want to join the queue, I can jump out for 15-20 minutes if you want to jump on.
Oh, no, don't jump. I just wanted to come on and say congratulations, Richard. I think you absolutely trashed him.
Thank you, brother.
And yes, I think you also broke him.
I would
It was
agree that you
wonderful to
definitely
watch.
threw him off script. He had no idea.
Well, if he'd have stopped and listened, he might have caught on what I was trying to say.
I do apologise, Richard, if I can make this statement about it. I do apologise if I did come across when I made my shorthand version of straw manning you. It's just when the last
No.
time you were asked to do it, you took 22 fucking minutes to do it, and I was trying to
So?
shorten it down
Do you know how short that show was, man? We could have used another 22 minutes.
Don't make me laugh. I'm going to wake the child.
Tail between his legs then.
Oh, my wee girl's sleeping directly above me. Don't make me laugh that hard.
All right. Well, love you all, and again, well done, Richard.
Sammy, just
And
to say,
I'll be in the chat.
yeah, Sammy, thank you for always being there to fill that seat, man. And when is it? This week? Next week? Next 10 days?
Yep, 7 to 10 days, because it's a 45 minutes so far, and I haven't added all my script, so it could be like an hour video in the end.
Right. That's okay. How you
So
gonna
it's a
keep
big
my-
one.
Yeah, big one. I'm fucking. Ooh, I'm enticed.
Yeah, I'll send you a sneak peek, of course.
Oh yes, I love it when you send me sneak peeks.
What? Wait, what happened? Am I chopped liver here? I mean, I thought we
Sam-
were friends. I mean,
Sammy is Sammy's.
I don't get a
what?
sneak peek.
Sammy, just tell
Yes, you can have a sneak peek, Richard.
Just
Thank
tell
you,
him,
love.
Sammy. Sammy's got his new setup and all, and hopefully starting his channel more productively in the next 10 days to a week. We will be
Sweet.
seeing more of Sammy, more so as a seat filler, more so as in kicking me out for filling all his seats.
Right on. I look forward to that.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we should start talking about it. Start talking it up so he can get his subscribers up.
We shall do that.
Yes. Well, you find
Awesome.
when you put content out, your generally subscription goes up more. So,
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
you know.
MathPig's done an amazing job. I'm at like 40 subs already, and I don't have any content, so
You do. You have that one video I made for you.
that's true. Oh, and the parody of you and Richard, of
Oh
course.
yes, the damn horse masturbation, which we shall never speak of again.
You just did. I was going to leave it alone.
Ah, yeah, you said that the last time. And then there was a happy horse. Right.
It's nature. There's nothing wrong with nature.
Okay, I'm gonna kick Richard a fucking watchtower.
You don't have to kick me, man. Don't you worry.
Right, Sammy, I'll see you in the chat. We've Messenger in the back. I'm sure he wants to come on
Okay,
and laugh.
see,
See you later. Love
see you guys.
Love you, bye.
See you in a bit, Sammy.
Bill Ashby, I've never asked you, did you father any children?
Me, no. Unfortunately not. I wish.
Brojo, how about you? Do you have any kids?
No, I do not.
I was going to thank you for your work as dads, but I guess I'm going to have to wait a little
Yeah.
while longer.
Well, to be fair, I did have a child once. She wasn't biologically mine, but I did have a kid once.
Thanks for your dad work.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. But, you know, that
Well,
was like 17 years ago, and I've wanted kids ever since.
Yeah.
well,
Super jealous of MathPig. I'm super jealous of John. Critical. I don't know. Do you have any kids?
I do. I have a 22-year-old at university.
Congratulations. Thanks for your dad work.
Hey, Lucy. Hey, Spooky. Hey, Sam. Hey, Sadie.
John, you got. I'm sending you a gift,
Who else
John.
is in there?
I made something. I handmade something for you, brother.
Hello, Maya.
Me? Which
For
John?
For Messenger.
Oh, okay. Another
Yeah,
John.
I replied to your email.
Okay. I'll be sending it out probably as soon as Monday rolls around.
So, Richard,
Sir,
I have a question, and you know I always ask straight questions. Were you trying to frustrate him?
no, sir.
Because you were when you speak of the way that you interpret the Bible and the way that you understand the Bible, you realize that most people who were atheists and agnostics that are former Christians and also current Orthodox Christians aren't going to understand. Like they're thinking you're speaking very ambiguously.
Yeah, I know it sounds that way. Yeah.
Well, to
I
them
know
it
you're
does.
right.
To them
Yeah.
it does. So,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
you know, my recommendation is you have to clarify. Hey, most Orthodox Christians believe X. I believe the text is saying this as justification by revelation, by insight, by these other things that I understand in life because they relate to X, Y, Z. Because when you just make a blanket statement, you know, yeah, I agree that the Bible is, 100% correct. Well, yeah, traditional Orthodox Christians say the Bible is a true, inspired, and found word of God. You guys mean two very different things when you make those statements.
I was trying to allow him to go through his bullet point questioning that he does to everybody. So I was just trying to be as brief as possible. Maybe that's a mistake.
But his script that he runs traditionally is with atheists or even agnostics, not believers. So because you're approaching it as a believer, and if I was approaching him as a believer, he's got to understand your point of view so that he can enter into his philosophical, script that fits your worldview. But since he doesn't understand your worldview, he doesn't know how to go into it.
Which is why I tried to do that shorthand
That makes
straw man
sense.
version of Richard to sort of direct the questioning a wee bit better.
Like, I mean, he may get to the point where he's like, well, you're not a Christian, then you're a heretic, and he's welcome to that opinion. Of course, anything that's outside of one's Orthodox belief is heretical. So he's a heretic to you, or somebody else may be heretical. And I'm not saying you would use that term, but I'm saying heretical is something against the orthodox of something. So, when you have a set of beliefs or standards, when somebody's outside of that, it's heretical in its viewpoint. That's all I mean. So I'm just saying, like, if you want to avoid, taking so long for him to get there, you help him get there and then let him do it. But he has no clue what he's dealing with you. Just
I think you're overall right. I'm not sure how exactly I would do that. I think you're overall right, though.
What I would do is defer to the most authoritative church fathers, Origen and Tertullian, and all of them. They were all heretics at one point or another. They were all exiled. They were excommunicated. But they're only remembered for the good stuff that they did. But nobody ever wants to remember, oh yeah, that's right, the church threw them out because they were a heretic.
Yeah. Right, but Darth has no clue what he was dealing with Richard. So he was trying to get that information, and because Richard was speaking clearly from his own point of view, which the majority of people would misinterpret or misunderstand.
Right.
That's why.
I mean, if I may, Richard, I think you're a really nice guy. I'm not saying from the brief interactions I see of you and everything like that. And believe me, I despise DD, so I'm not in no way here trying to back him up. But when DD starts asking you for your worldview, he wants to take you down, his script or road and stuff like that, and get you to the place. Well, how do you know things? And that's where he's kind of going. But I think you did make some claims that I would say, in fairness to DD, that were not justified when you were making claims to what the Bible says, and in particular when you was talking about prophets and the killing of prophets, because I even went to the scriptures to try to help you out, really, and I even saw the list that Dee saw, and all those scriptures are in all different types of contexts, so it really didn't help the case. So,
in that context, it was referring to the false prophets, though, the ones that were worshiping the wrong god, the priests and priestesses and prophets of Jezebel that Josiah executed.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're right, Jim, that it does use it that way in some places.
But I mean, to me, it just seemed like DD was a round hole, and Richard was a square peg, and he was trying to hammer him into that hole. And it's like, look, he clearly has a different interpretation of the text, and because you can't hammer this square peg into your round hole to fit your worldview, instead of meeting him on his level, I think it's extremely dishonest to try to manipulate somebody like that just so they can get a gotcha.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to let him run through the things he normally runs through so we could get to some more meaningful conversation. I was hoping that would happen.
Well, with him, you always get to a presupposition or to some sort of an axiomatic norm. But for you, whenever he asks you, what you depend on, I mean, if I understand you correctly, it's revelation through the scripture.
Yeah, just strictly.
And that's exactly how I would answer him. And when he asks you to expound upon that, it's my personal experience. This is my
because that's what that comes down to for him.
Right.
It comes down to
it may not be externally verifiable, but God reveals these things to you through the text. And he cannot argue that. Cannot argue against it.
No, he can't. because he would be arguing against himself.
Well, not only that, but it's unfalsifiable.
Yeah. Loving your background, by the way, Jim. I see you saying earlier about how you painted it.
I'm painting this part.
Speaking of things that look cool, John, that beard be rocking. Go on. Look a little to the left and stroke it. You were doing. There you go. Yeah.
It grew like 2 inches since last night. I swear.
Is that a shadow, or is it actually dark in the middle and the rest of it's grey?
Wait. Did it grow 2 inches, or are you just happy to see me?
Yeah, no, it's all grey.
Am I gonna have to put my camera on?
Oh no, well, we're all sick of looking at your beard, man. You know.
I mean, if you got some facial hair, I mean.
But, before I forget, Brojo, thank you for your input. I appreciate you.
My pleasure. No problem.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on.
I just want you to make sure you hear my heart. Yeah,
that was good advice.
Yeah, everybody, thanks for turning up. Thanks for coming. We broke a personal record tonight. I think we had 43 live viewers. That before that was 35. So fucking shattered it tonight. So.
I wouldn't have missed it. I turned a reminder on. I already have notifications on, but I also clicked the remind me button, and it didn't remind me. But I just happened to see it when I was scrolling through YouTube, and it said started 8 minutes ago, and I was like, "Fuck!"
I have to get Richard was talking, and then me and Dave.
Oh, sorry.
No, not now. Richard was having a chat with yourself last night.
Oh yeah. That was a really good chat. We got to do that again and soon.
I missed I missed the last 40 minutes. I woke up on the sofa at like 5 a.m. staring at a fucking picture of a mountain or something. Chromecast just randomly running through pictures.
He said he fell asleep rubbing himself softly to the sound of our voices.
Yes, it was so relaxing.
It's nice to know. It's nice to know.
But I did listen to the rest of it today. The point I'm making is this morning when we got up, Dave and me were in a couple of streams, and Darth Dawkins has been popping up in a lot of completely irrelevant streams. Like the stream for Dave Con's Information, he appeared on that. You know, the Daily Atheist stream on a sci-fi show, he appeared on that. And I feel that the man was reaching out, so we reached out. Both me and Dave reached out to him. Richard said he was up for it. I'm not ready to debate the man. Not that I even want to. Saying ready, giving him credit.
I want a piece. I want a piece of him.
I'll send you.
You don't want a piece of you, John.
You know what was quite disappointing was that, because I believe that Dee doesn't think you're a Christian, and we could get into all that and what a real Christian is, but I don't believe he thinks you're a real Christian. And that he left so abruptly, not even taking the opportunity to lead you to Christ if he, felt that way.
Well, he's not an evangelist. I mean, that goes without saying. He evangelizes more people to atheism, I think, than he does to Christianity.
That's for sure.
Definitely.
100%.
He evangelizes people towards Tom Rabbit's channel, and I think there's 3 channels in total that cover his stuff that are absolutely brilliant. They put music in the background and all.
I've only been in the live chat for like 10 seconds, and I already regret it and am blushing severely.
You're looking well with the tats.
I don't know how you can see my hips, but okay.
In all honesty, if you did have a top hat on, I can see the Gangs of New York.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh, the Butcher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was it? Dude, Daniel Day-Lewis?
Hardcore. But
is that Daniel Day-Lewis?
You're just needing...
What's that?
No, I said, isn't that actor Daniel Day-Lewis?
Daniel Day-Lewis, yeah.
Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis.
He did something different. Like the way he did his hair and everything, it just changed his profile entirely.
Oh, big time.
He is he is an amazingly good method actor. So good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's amazing. Did a great Jesus.
John, just to say as well, I'd like to get you back on. I'm free the 25th of this month. I have a slot if you're doing anything. I know that it might be a Sunday.
I'm sure I could make time. Just if we're going to slot it in, let's just get it scheduled a few days ahead. I mean, this is like probably the second day that I've actually felt healthy in the last 6 weeks. So here I am back at it. I know, finally. I actually broke down, went to the doctor finally.
Do you live anywhere close to Richard?
Richard's probably, I don't know where he is exactly, but I'm guessing he's at least 1,000 miles away, maybe 800 miles away.
You're in the Midwest, right?
I'm in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
I'm in Arizona, in Phoenix area.
I'm in Oklahoma.
I've driven through Oklahoma, got a speeding ticket in Oklahoma.
I believe it.
No, well, I'm just
probably on 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I have a wee Christmas box. Yeah, fuck off. I know it's over. A wee Christmas box for Richard that I'm sending over. I can throw in an extra jar of honey because I know that internal postage in America is
cheaper.
Where it would cost me a shit ton to send 2 packages. But find a local honey keeper, man, a honey beekeeper, and go get yourself some local honey. That's the best thing for
Well, if you're going to pay that much for shipping, just go ahead and throw in an ounce of weed, too.
No, because it's far too expensive over here.
Don't ship me an ounce of weed. I will tear it up and throw it in the trash. You'll
I
be
nearly
mad.
had a fucking... Oh, man, I ordered a quarter and got...
I think it's a federal offense to mail.
Why would you do that?
Well, if I were to give it to you, that would be your prerogative. I would be disappointed, but I wouldn't be mad.
I'll make a
You
deal.
cannot mail weed.
Send me an ounce of weed and I'll send you a jar of honey.
Yeah.
We're cousins.
I mean, I'm an entrepreneur.
That sounds
Even
like
if
a
I
fair
didn't
swap to
smoke,
me.
I'd be like,
Sounds
well,
like a proper
let's
fair
sell this.
We're family after all, Jim.
Richard, the weed is probably better than the tobacco.
Yeah, 100%.
For health, yes.
Yeah.
For soberness, no.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I would agree with that 100%.
I think that's debatable.
I don't get high from my cigarettes.
No.
It's not even a decent
Well,
maintenance drug.
Oh,
you
come on.
just- you don't
Nicotine is the
you
most
just don't
addictive,
feel
one of
it.
the most addictive drugs out there.
No, but
Yes,
it doesn't
Nicotine,
have a euphoric effect.
nicotine
It
is
doesn't
a
have you don't
stupid
get,
high.
you
Nicotine is a ridiculously powerful high. It's a speed
No, it
high.
is. It's
It
so
is.
powerful that the first time I did chewing tobacco, I swallowed it and I was so sick that even just the smell of it now, like I can't, like I haven't smoked a cigarette since I was 20, maybe.
You got to power through that, Jim. You got to be a man about this.
Shoot, I smoke blunts bigger than my penis.
That's like Cheech and Chong big.
So about
Longer
2
not-
inches.
I'm not sure that's even like a
I
big
think you
joint.
just opened up yourself for a joke there.
Jim,
I don't know what
think
that means in
everybody
real
smoked
terms.
blunts bigger than your penis.
He's like, that's a joint the size of a cork.
Yeah, we've all smoked
to,
blunts
to,
bigger
to
than
say that nicotine doesn't get you high and marijuana does is complete bullshit. I'm sorry,
Oh,
but it is.
there's a
Complete
reason
bullshit.
people smoke, and it's not because that they like inhaling.
You realize
smoke.
that smoking cigarettes does not impair your judgment to drive a vehicle.
Oh, sure it does.
Smoking marijuana can no. It
Oh
doesn't.
yeah,
It absolutely does, but to what
No,
degree?
it doesn't.
It
Yeah,
does.
okay.
It does.
So does
It
drinking a
absolutely
Mountain
does.
Dew? Does drinking a Mountain Dew affect your ability to drive a car?
Yes, to a degree.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm just saying that those things are not impairing reaction time.
But are
Okay.
you comparing the effect of nicotine to the effect of a Mountain Dew?
I'm saying like because nicotine has both a stimulant and a depressant effect to it.
Yeah.
It affects the brain in both ways. It's one of the rare drugs that does that. But I'm saying it doesn't impair your motor functions like marijuana, alcohol, heroin, cocaine.
It certainly would
John, on the job
It would for me, I
24/7.
guarantee it. I would be so violently sick to my stomach and be seasick and everything be spinning.
But
Well,
I mean,
but
if
you're
you're not a
exactly
regular,
right.
if you're a regular smoker though, it doesn't
Right.
affect them in those ways.
Right.
Right,
Well,
but
it's the
that's,
same thing
that's
with
the
weed.
point because you're so used
that
to
cigarette
it.
on your
You know
lap.
what I mean?
But if you
That
smoke
is the same with
if you smoke marijuana all the time, you're not gonna build up a tolerance to be able to drive and not have reaction time issues and get in trouble.
You guys are awesome.
Oh, sure. I smoke everywhere I go.
I would disagree with you.
I'm
on
not
that,
saying
John.
you do or don't.
I would disagree with you on that, John.
I have a clean traffic record.
I smoke all the time.
I'm not saying you can't make it. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm not saying that I'm just making it like I'm struggling to get there. Like it's not a big deal for me. In fact, I prefer to drive high.
Well, I mean, if it reduces your anxiety, that could be helpful too.
Sure,
Yeah,
absolutely does,
I know
100%.
I know a few people exactly like that.
That's
it
me.
reduces their anxiety, and they
Yeah.
pretty much have to
Essentially,
smoke.
if I'm going to be on the interstate and I get boxed in, like I get two cars beside me and I'm behind a truck or something, I freak the fuck out.
I'm just every
Like,
time I go
it's
anywhere on
bad.
a long journey, I always roll a smoke for the journey. I always drive smoking. My mother has shouted at me. My brother has been caught and got away with it. Like they didn't notice and has warned me and now doesn't. But I always roll a smoke when I drive.
See, I'm
just saying-
like
just saying
allergic to
that
marijuana. I
it
can't
does
smoke
slow
it
down
at
your
all.
motor response time.
Oh, what's that?
I'm just saying
I'm-
that smoking marijuana does slow down your motor response time.
Well, I find when I smoke, I'm more focused and I drive. You can ask my girlfriend. I've tried doing left foot braking on a corner that's killed 3 people just to see if my car could do it. Because I like to drive
methamphetamine
fast.
increases some people's response time. So you're saying people should do meth if it makes them drive better?
I can see John's point.
I can't argue with that because cocaine
As does cocaine. As does
cocaine.
cocaine.
Right.
It's like, holy shit, I'm swerving so accurately.
Hey, listen, pilots do very well on cocaine, so it's.
I mean, yeah, I think that's more of like a longevity thing, though.
I just find that a lot of people, that there are people out there who will smoke tobacco and drink alcohol, and then they will rip on drugs constantly. They'll be like, fucking drunkies, blah, blah, blah. This, like, you're a fucking hypocrite. You're an
they're drunkies
I'm the
too.
exact opposite. I rarely drink, and like I'll drink maybe 3 beers a week, and it's like one on Friday, Sunday, and probably Wednesday. But other than that, I smoke weed, and from the time I get up until the time I go to sleep, don't smoke cigarettes and don't do any other hard drugs. And I'm kind of like that guy who's like, you should probably stop smoking cigarettes. Well, I've got a blunt in my mouth or something.
John, just to say this, John, I don't know, Bill will know of this because he's UK. If you look back, Bill, maybe about 3 months ago, Channel 4 had a show where they took a smoker and a non-smoker to Amsterdam and had interviews.
My mate was on that. Did you actually watch that show, that documentary?
I didn't watch it, but I did get a second interview. I got a second interview.
My mate that lives in my town was actually on that documentary. My friend Sam.
Well, you would have got 2 friends on that show because I got a second interview and my granny couldn't go because of medical reasons. Me and my granny were going to go over.
Mate, that sucks. That would have been great.
Yeah, because they asked for people who are productive in society who smoke every day, and I think I'm pretty productive. I do all this. I work 48 hours a week. I have a daughter. I have a dog. I have bees during the summer. I'm always on the fucking go. I try and help as many people as I can in the community, and
he picks up hitchhikers.
That thing, and. I'm a big smoker.
I did a 5-part series with this woman from Fox News named Ali Stuckey, and it was like for her own little personal thing or whatever. I hate Fox News just to put that out there.
Just to say, I hate John's. I hate John's rest.
But after we filmed the part, I was like, well, how long until it goes to until it's released? And she was like, oh, well, it depends. It has to be edited and all this other stuff. And part of like the contract was like if they don't do it, then they just have to give me $200. But if they do, it's like $500 per episode or whatever. Well, I just got the check for $200, so it's been like 6 months. Like I honestly forgot about it, and I was like, oh well, that kind of sucks. Like, but like they were topical issues. Like one was like on abortions, like one I really remember, and like I just made her look really stupid. To be honest, but yeah,
$200 you could probably buy 5, maybe even as many as 7 new horse brushes.
Oh, I don't need any horse brushes. I got horse brushes out the ass. Oh man, I do need some tail detangler. Do need to get some of that.
John, how is
there? You go. You got a target.
John, how is the 4 channels going now? You've got what, 3 channels, 4 channels?
I have 3 youngers and we have a bunch of olders. But yeah, we have twin 1.5-year-olds, and we have a almost 3-year-old son as well.
Nice.
And then we have
lucky man,
teenage kids, adult kids.
It's generally quiet because it's generally whenever you come on screen, a hell of a lot louder than it is now. That's why.
Yeah, my oldest is 15 and my youngest is 6.
Oh, hey, Megan's pregnant. Does everybody know that?
Yeah.
Who?
Megan, Dr. Josh and Megan.
Yeah.
So is that their third kid?
Pretty far along.
Yeah, we got a 15-year-old.
She announced it live on stream. She did announce it live.
It's their second.
So second together.
Yeah, second together.
Yeah.
So they have 2 kids previous. Now they have their third.
Yes, I believe they have 3 combined, right?
Got it.
Or this will be 3 combined.
I think when it's born, there'll be 4 combined.
4 combined. Okay, maybe so.
2 from a previous and 2 with Megan.
Got it.
Unless I'm wrong, in which case I deeply apologize to both of them.
I think it was 6. I think somebody said 6.
25 then?
I heard
25.
Yeah. I heard 6 from 5 different women,
Yeah, that digital word, you wonder what it means.
Now the rumors are going to fly out there.
Oh,
I'll have to do a live stream just to correct the kid situation.
More like digital slammer, am I right?
do you know, the funny thing is, what I actually did ask originally was, John, how is your 3 channels going, or is it 4 channels that you have now?
I have not been on many of those channels over the last 6 weeks because I was just coughing continuously with bronchitis. So I haven't done any. I didn't do any content.
I know that you and your mate do them, just the 2 of you, and then you just record them. But I think that you should do them live. You know, where you can get a wee bit more interaction. Is it a disability on the technology, or is it just it's a want not to?
Don't say disability.
The messenger reveals we almost all of those are live, so everything is going to be live with that always. With Unplugged from Worldly Thinking,
that's the one I'm talking about.
The teaching pieces are just going to be premieres and pre-recorded, and just we don't want to deal with a live chat. We just want to get through the material, present what we want to present, and then answer questions in a live chat if people want to ask them. But we also plan, once we get enough content on there for those teachings that we want to do, we're going to start doing some live shows and call-ins for people who want to talk about behavioral health, talk about psychology, talk about human behavior.
That's exactly what I was. Because that's the whole point of it being.
That show's going to have that eventually. And then with Reality Unplugged, that's going to be satire and response and takedown. And that's where I'm going to be doing quite a bit of content in the next few weeks to try to get caught up to what I plan to do over the Christmas break. That just didn't happen.
Yeah, well, that's what I was referring to.
The reveals channel. I threw dollar bills for like a week straight, and you never revealed anything.
You threw dollar bills at what?
Well,
making it rain, baby.
See, that's what I was trying to point out, is the fact that that channel is about interaction and helping people. And sending.
That's the only way I could do it for a week. I threw them in my computer screen and then recollected them every 30 seconds.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
No, what I'm saying is, John, the fact that channel is dedicated to helping people in a secular way with just them, as you said before, I even got it in, the whole interaction with the crowd, I think would help, back you up ever so slightly, because if you can, if people actually can vouch for you.
Yeah, there's probably about 4 or 5 more content ones we're going to put out there, and then we'll start getting into doing the live shows after that. So I'm guessing probably in about a month and a half, I'll start doing live shows on that one.
Yeah, definitely. I watched the odd one, but to be honest, man, whenever I'm not having the interaction, it does come across as a wee bit this, that, and the other. And I've been listening when I do my listening and missing out on lives or anything like that. I'm generally in a journey and traveling.
But here's the reasoning, and I'll just give it to you guys real quick. Having that content out there is going to be good for when you are having those live interactions with people. And let's say something's going to take 15-20 minutes of explanation. That's going to bore the shit out of the rest of the audience. So if I can sit there and say, hey, reference this video that we did on emotional healing, or learning to
but you don't want to turn it into IP though. Inspiring Philosophy does the same shit. Like somebody asks some question, he was like, "Oh, I got a video on that," and you can go watch it on YouTube, and then he doesn't even provide a cursory explanation. It's annoying to me, but
that's annoying. I hate when people.
Let John finish.
I'm not doing it necessarily as a deflection. I'm doing it as hey, if you're really going to need some content and you're going to get into these specific things, we're talking about X today, and we'll talk about X today because this is the topic we're talking about. Now you're referencing 2 other things. I can go, hey, we're not going to get into those other things because those are other topics, but I do have content if you'd like to look at those videos there.
Oh, sure. Yeah. If it's a side thing or whatever, but if it's something germane to the topic at hand,
100%. Yeah,
it's okay but I think at best you need to provide just a brief explanation or just a summary of your position, because it's so easy to just. Especially in a debate, it seems disingenuous because you can just defer to whatever, and your argument might not even support it, but the other person has to take you at your word that, oh, okay, well, I guess there's nothing I can say. I can't respond to it because I don't know your argument.
No, and that's fair. Yeah, if we were having just a dialogue or a debate or reference points, and we're talking about that subject, I'm not going to be like, hey, go watch my video and then come talk to me.
Right.
I'll take the time to explain it because that's what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I've ever shied away from answering questions from anybody. You've seen me in, on Great Debate Community or a Knoxville channel when I was there. I answer questions and I answer them as genuinely as I can. Now I'll say that I've been
a little too genuinely.
What's that?
So sometimes a little too genuinely.
Well, I mean, the truth is this. When it goes back to those things, I'm not somebody's therapist, and if people are going to present themselves as an expert and you're not prepared to really talk about those topics because you're getting triggered by them, you shouldn't be on here talking about them. And I'm not responsible for how other people think, how other people feel. At times, I'm insensitive, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. At the same time,
you're setting yourself up in an environment of potentiality. I mean,
oh sure, and I have no problem. Like I don't have any regrets about any of that stuff whatsoever. I was myself. I was authentic. If you're going to come at me, in a disingenuous way, and I'm harsh with you, not my problem. It's yours. And I don't mean
respect, Miss Sassy.
I'm just talking about in general. Like if people want to ask questions because they're generally interested or concerned, love having that conversation and dialogue. When people are trying to trick you, trap you, come at you sideways, then sorry. He's 100% that way. Then when I sit there and challenge you and go, okay, let's talk about your well-being and tell me why I should believe and hold the things that you told to be true. And then people are like, oh my God, look at messengers attacking people. And I'm like, you're being a disingenuous fuck by asking me these questions, and only in a way that you want to try to debunk them or make me look stupid, which is never going to happen because I don't place value on what you think. But at the same time, if you want to have a general question because you're curious and then you want to rebut it, then rebut it. Have that. I'm fine with that.
Well, I'm not muted, MathPig.
I think the only negative interaction that I've ever had with you was, I don't remember what led to it, but it ended with you saying that my PTSD was all in my head.
No. If you believe that's what I said, then you didn't understand what I meant.
It was something along those lines. I think Robbie was there. But yeah, I don't remember. It was so long ago. But that's
the main interaction. The main interaction I remember with you was on GDC when we were discussing the Bible. I don't remember discussing or even talking about. Were you in a side chat or were we talking to the voice in that one?
No, we were. It was a panel. I think there were 8 of us. It was a pretty good sized room.
I recall that.
I was like Google Hangouts.
Hi, Messenger.
Hello, Sassy. How are you?
Sure, I recall that.
Hi, Richard. How are you? Hi, Bill.
Hello.
Hi, bro. I don't know who the other one is. I don't know who the other one is.
Jim.
You can't read?
Jim Major. No, she's talking about Brojo, I think. That's Brother John.
No. I'm not talking. I know who Jim is.
No. She's definitely talking about me.
Oh.
And she definitely can't read.
Shut up.
Super sarcasm.
Shut up.
So what brings you on, Sassy?
Oh, I don't know.
Come on, you do know. You just share it.
She just came in to kick me in the ribs once and then leave.
No, that's your job. That's what you do to me.
Okay, sounds fun.
Okay, you know what? I deal enough working alongside people that are like you, so I need a break.
Whoa. You mean white?
Ow.
No!
What do you mean like?
I work along. Oh my god.
Tattoos?
I meant work along. Oh my god.
What do you mean like Jim?
Okay.
No!
Are you sexist?
Fine. I'm just going to call the ACLU real quick. I'll be right back.
They're not my co-workers, but I work with, because I work in Walmart, but I don't work for Walmart. So I have to work alongside with Walmart associates. So
they call that stealing.
I work in a Walmart taking their product off their shelves. She's probably one of those eye optical centers.
Oh yeah, she's probably like one of those people who like acts like they're like listening to Nickelback, but they're really like talking to the cops.
Or they're selling
Walmart, but Walmart doesn't pay me. So.
I'm a straight talk.
I work in Walmart, but not for Walmart. Like I work there, but they don't know.
I'm a straight talk and track phone rep. Okay, So
are you that annoying person that sits at the folding table and like grabs us and like, hey, what kind of phone do you have?
What kind of services are you on? Are you happy with your plan?
Do you have internet?
No, that's not. Oh my, that's not how I.
It's like those digital satellite people when you're like, are you happy with your service?
Yeah.
You're like T-Rex. It's like just just moving it really slow or really fast and don't make eye contact.
No, I say, hi, how can I help you? And a lot of times they're already looking at Straight Talk or TrackPhone, and I'm the only rep in the store, in my area to help them. And so I used to be a rep for Verizon, AT&T.
You're a salesperson, aren't you?
Yeah.
That answers your question, Messenger.
How many of those people are like pushing their cart? Like, how many of those people are like pushing their cart half full with their screaming kids, and then they're like looking in the complete opposite direction of you, and then you're just like, "Hey, what kind of phone do you have?" Because that's what I do every time that I pass those people. I just make sure to like look at like a 180-degree angle from wherever their eyes are. Just
you should be like, "I got the flip phone."
Well, the one who always gets me here is the internet guy, and he's like, "What kind of internet do you have?" And I was like, "I've got goats. Like, I have to use my cell phone for internet." And he was like, "Well, we can help you with the satellite dish, whatever." So, no, you can't. I live in the sticks.
Well, you're in Oklahoma.
Hopefully, you'll get 5G soon, though.
What's that?
I said you're in Oklahoma.
Hopefully, you'll get.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Bill. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. Don't worry. Not important.
Yes, it is.
T-Mobile just went they said they announced they went nationwide with the 5G. I think it's what you're asking, but I don't know whether my phone has the capabilities or not, or if I'm just like
probably not at this stage. Probably not. But there's also a possibility that they haven't actually installed 5G cell sites where you are presently. However, once they do, if you get a 5G capable phone, that will be absolutely fine it'll be just basically the same as having broadband internet. That's the good thing about 5G. Like you'll be able to download huge files in seconds rather than minutes or hours.
Well,
so if you can get into 5G, that's what I would advise.
Well, I was under the understanding that they operated on the same broadband as the 4G, and they could use the current towers.
I don't know for sure. I didn't think that was the case.
They need more coverage.
I think they need 5G.
To. You need more towers with a 5G, the way the bandwidth is more concentrated to get all that information. So that's the
it's a narrower band,
yeah. But I'm from what I'm hearing, the capabilities of 5G I'm concerned with, because it's going to be at a point where you're not going to need a phone, where because of facial recognition and the institution of possibly, of course, cryptocurrency in the future, there's not going to be no need to have your phone, say, a device in your hand, which in America at least, we have our privacy protected to some degree, but with 5G, 5G,
we have the illusion of privacy.
That goes away.
Yeah, let's not go down that rabbit hole.
It's definitely the illusion of privacy. When it comes to state surveillance, the United States is maybe second to Russia. Maybe.
Yeah. It was all removed after September 11th, 2001. Pretty much.
Oh yeah, Patriot Act.
Yeah, they got that Batman bullshit going on with our cell phones.
Yeah. I have black electrical tape over my laptop webcam. Okay.
Oh yeah. I would totally do that. I mean, I don't even have a laptop anymore. I only have my mobile phone.
Well, and it's hard to not be paranoid with these these smart speakers like Alexa and things of that nature. Where they have a microphone that can be activated by voice that can potentially be engaged when you don't want it to be engaged.
Yeah, exactly.
And we've got two phones on our phone.
I don't use those devices.
that sees 360 degrees, behind it and in front of it.
But I mean, at the end of
am I going crazy, or do I hear kids more in the background?
That'll be my kids.
That'll be
okay, I knew I wasn't going. Okay, I thought I was going crazy, but I just wanted to make sure.
You got some tricycle motors, or is it Pisanite?
Oh, they're over in the media room having fun. Oh, they just shut
Sounds
the
like
door.
you need some more duct tape.
I think at the end of the day, with regards to the whole privacy thing, if you're going to be on the internet in any kind of a sense, like if you're going to interact online in any kind of a sense, you've just got to pretty much forget the idea of privacy, because you've signed it away. As soon as you sign up to any of these things, you've already signed it away in the terms and conditions. So you might as well just forget it.
Yeah, I initially regretted using my real name when I was CEO of Atheist Republic. You know, I had debated changing my name or using just a false name, but now, like, I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna put it all out there. Like, I've had the death threats. If somebody wants to drive out here in the sticks, I can see them coming from 2 miles away, and I probably have more guns than they do. So that's like worst case scenario. And it's like, that my kids are too heavy and ugly to steal. Like, so I'm not worried about it.
I was actually, for the longest time, I was actually worried about
that was a joke.
revealing like my name, like my real name, but then and then I just stopped daring. I just, why not?
You mean your name's not Sassy? I thought your mom was just
my real name
really
is
good.
Cynthia. Okay, I forgot to actually before I came in here, I wanted to change it, but
is your real name Grumpy?
I'm not grumpy. Okay. I'm only grumpy when I talk to you. So
you're muted if you're trying to talk, Richard. There you go.
I want to say thank you all so much, and thank you for your critique, John and Jim and Brojo and Bill. Thank you as much. Thanks especially to MathPig and Dave for setting it all up. I had a great time, and I'm going to talk to you guys next time. And peace and respect to you all.
Hey man, you did a great job. Love you, brother.
Good night, Richard.
Oh, Jim.
Richard, if I can just say, Rich, shush your mouth. I left because you could get in. You be quiet a minute. Richard, thank you very much for coming. Appreciate it. It's fucking my channel. I do what I want. I appreciate you coming, Richard. Great having you on, and thanks very much for coming. Okay, Sassy, going back there. Go on. You talk ahead there.
Oh, great.
Oh, you're so kind and loving and welcoming.
I love the way you say that sarcastically, because I've been sitting in the backstage for 20 minutes allowing you to take my spot.
Maya, I pretty much agree with that sentiment. Obviously, I use my real name, obviously, as well. I just couldn't be bothered with coming up with a fake name. Sorry, it's just something Maya put in the chat there. Look.
Yeah, no, it's my name's Robbie. I'm Robbie. I'm from Northern Ireland. Yeah, dox yourself. It saves an awful lot of hassle.
Yeah, I actually know where you work.
Hashtag Brojo.
I'm looking at Jim.
I know where you work.
You don't. I've moved.
I thought it was funny the other day, Math, when you did that Twitter thing on Discord and brought up my last Twitter post, and it was my address.
Was it?
I blatantly doxed myself to everyone. Oh well.
Yeah, speaking of Discord and just doing that wee thing, and then we can get back to talking about Sassy. Couchbot, updated itself, man. No, I use like Couchbot in like 14 servers. It updated itself to version 3 and went from 100 servers to 14,000 and then crashed.
Whoops.
Right?
Unsurprising.
Well, Couchbot 2 was running on 14,000 servers and working fine. And he updated to Couchbot 3 and he'd been testing it on 100, and then when he updated to the 14,000, it crashed. Which is, he's been working on it for a couple of months now, but it crashed anyway, regardless. You would not believe the fucking hate that he got because the amount of people that were relying on it, because it is very good, but the amount of hate that he got, that guy had an anxiety attack and an actual breakdown and disappeared for about 3 or 4 days, like gone, complete. He wiped Couchbot from 14,000 servers and told everybody to basically go fuck themselves. And only because
sensitive.
You should see some of the messages that he got, man. Though they were like, I understand that you're sensitive.
You gotta expect human beings are very much self-centered.
Well, do you see? This is the thing, because he has had
entitled little bastards. They are.
Yeah, because he's had so much love from.
You shut down my Facebook, you fuckers.
I know, man. In all honesty, I'm really fucking annoyed. Like, I'm 70% pissed off. Couchbot was fantastic.
like people are pissed off at the free shit, like Facebook, email. Like,
well, you see, this is the thing. That's the thing, John. Just as you say, people get pissed off. They're entitled and all the rest of it. So what he's done now over the space of a week is he took some time for himself. And he came back and he went, right, if you want it, it's $1 a month.
Well, with all of the information that we give them, though, like we give them a treasure trove worth of marketing tools. Like if anything, they should be paying us to use it.
No, what I'm just saying, he did all this for free, and he spent over 3 years in development doing this, right? But he made it $1 a month now if you want to use it. And it's went from something like 14,000 servers to something like 1,000.
And how many advertisers has he gone from?
No,
what's he at now?
With Couchbot, you get no advertisements whatsoever.
Really?
None. It posts your lives, specifically the owner of the server where you want, and then deletes them and moves them to a storage. And for anyone else, it can post somewhere else and then moves them to storage. Like another channel, it deletes when you're not live, it posts when you are live. It's basically, it's fantastic. It was great. And he tried to make it a little better and do everything. Yep. And it crashed.
Facebook, when it started off, was no ads too. I mean, there's a lot of things that start off to get you hooked, to get you, invested, and then...
Well, John, think of it this way. He's went from 14,000 free to 1,000 minimum for $1 a month. So he's at least bringing in $1,000 a month now. That's the point I'm trying to make. As you say, people.
I don't have a single Patreon.
I have 2.
Why the heck do you need 2?
Yeah, I don't have a single Patreon, and I'm struggling to get 600 subs.
I have 2 Patreons.
You were out for a while, weren't you?
I was what?
I said you were out for a while. I mean, you weren't doing content. You weren't hosting things on your own channel.
He had a
you were
heart
mostly
attack.
showing up on other people's.
John, he had a heart attack.
Yeah, I had a heart attack.
You're too young for that shit. Knock it off.
Jim overworks himself to death, man. You should see the amount of animals that man has.
No.
You do, man. You work too hard. It's not that Jim has a bad diet or anything like that. It's the fact that Jim is trying to work himself into an early grave because he's so nice.
I just want to get to heaven faster.
Did they say it was stress related?
Oh, you say you want to spend eternity with me, Jim.
It resulted from a viral infection, and it caused my pericardium to fill with water and restricted my heart from beating. And it basically threw a rod, and I have a hole in my muscle, but it's closing up. I'm doing a lot better.
Yeah, and not only that, John, just to say...
It was an illness. It wasn't something that was genetic, wasn't something that was stress-related.
No, yeah, it was just like a freak thing. Like, it was something caused by a viral infection that I didn't know that I had, and it just caused the lining around my heart to basically turn my heart into, or put my heart in the middle of a water balloon, basically, is what it did.
And Jim, just if you can elaborate, do you or do you not live in the middle of nowhere and had to drive your car after a heart attack to the place to get an ambulance to take you to the hospital?
No, I drove straight to the hospital.
You just drove? Yeah, but you drove to the hospital.
Yeah, it was like.
Yeah, but that's because he lives in America, dude. Like in the UK, we just ambulance.
Well, it was either drive there for 15 minutes, or I could call them, lay on the floor, and think about dying, waiting for the 15 minutes for them to get there, and then another 15 minutes for them to get to the hospital.
It's like, I'm taking this shit in my own hands.
Yeah, and I was like, if I die, like, it's gonna be a cool story. Like, this dude was doing 80 and just like went through this fence and killed a cow, and it was great.
Yeah, that's what happened to Sidestrike. He had a heart attack at the steering wheel and died.
Oh man, no, it wasn't at the steering wheel. I was making something to eat. I was getting ready to go onto some show. I forget which one it was, but I was like 15 minutes from the show. I was all nice and dressed up and ready to go, and had a nice button up on, and just felt like my chest all of a sudden just gained 20 pounds, and it just like hurt and ached, and it just dropped me to my knees, and I sit there for a second, and then it just kept pulling me down farther and hurting more, and I was like, this isn't good.
Not to diverge from the severity of that, but would I be right in saying that you were less than a week from going to Israel or something on one of them tours?
Oh, yeah, it wasn't less than a week, but it was pretty damn close.
Yeah, because people were texting me asking where Jim was, and I was like, Jim's in Israel doing a rabbi, a priest, and an atheist walk into a pub joke. No, man's had a heart attack.
Yeah, I wish, but it is going to happen this year, so that is the good news.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, we were going to do it like in June, but there was a security concern with one of them, and so we had to postpone it. But it honestly, I don't think I'm ready. But so I'm glad they postponed it.
I am going to Guatemala next year.
Nice.
In the jungle for like a week.
That's amazing. Like archaeological or?
Okay, so I do this thing called Sistema, which is like it's a martial art and a health and wellness system that the Russians teach to their Spetsnaz, right?
Yeah.
So the guy that is my trainer basically is running an expedition into the jungle. It's basically like a survival expedition.
Sure.
But we're going to see some ancient Mayan sites that haven't even been visited by archaeologists yet. They literally only know that they're there because they've been surveyed from the air. They know that these things are there, yeah? And like just in the middle of the jungle. So yeah, a whole week, 6 nights, 7 days.
Don't get like nabbed by some pygmy cannibals or anything.
Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to it, to be fair. It should be really good. Really, really good.
Oh, I'm very envious. I've been to Chile and Paraguay, but and Brazil, but I hadn't been to like real, what I would consider real South America. You know.
I'm hoping to get my channel sort of up and running by then, so that I can actually take a camera out with me and maybe get some footage out there.
You have to. I mean, if you put that on YouTube, like you could be the first person to ever show on the ground footage. Like you're obligated
potentially. I mean, what I need to do is I need to sit down and have a chat with somebody that knows. I mean, obviously there's loads of people around here that do, but know about cameras and all that sort of stuff, because I want to get a camera that will work while I'm in the jungle, but will also double up for doing stuff for YouTube in the UK as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, while I'm like, that's what I'm.
I'd get a GoPro.
That's what I'm after. You reckon?
Yeah, I would get GoPros. I mean, they're good for action, but they're not too bad for sitting down. But I can't really think of like, you getting like a DSLR out in the jungle or anything like that. It'd have to be something pretty hardy and have a long battery life.
Bill,
the only other thing I was thinking was a Nikon DS3500. I was considering.
Bill, I'll send you a link to a camera that my brother buys for the top of his drones. They're about, I think they're £80, and he's crashed this shit into trees.
Yeah, in the jungle you can't fly a drone. There's a canopy.
No, but it's a square.
MathPig, check backstage.
Okay, well, the point I'm trying to make, man, is whenever you're doing a video on a drone, you don't actually watch live. You do all analog. You can't interact digitally because there's a delay. You record the video. It's a little cube camera, and it records everything in HD, like 4K. It's only about 80 quid. It's a really good camera, and he's crashed it into a tree a couple of times and reused it on other drones.
And another thing, I don't know if the Nikon that you mentioned, if it has any kind of lens protection, but I know that GoPros, that they have like cases they can snap into where you don't have to worry about them getting scratched or busted or anything.
That's true. I'm gonna have a think about. I mean, I might even take. I'm gonna it's gonna have a think about it and work out exactly what I need to take with me. I'm gonna take a couple of bits for me.
Well, and you're gonna have a cell phone for backup always, so. Yeah,
that's true. I mean, the battery on that will die first. Absolutely, no doubt.
Well, you're gonna bring a power bank though, right?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I don't think we will have any power access at all, other than what we take with us.
I've got it somewhere. I've got a little 10-watt solar panel, and it's got a USB port, and so you can unfold the panel and recharge it. I think it's like 1100 milliamp hours.
No, I hadn't considered that.
Yeah.
I had not considered that. That is a very, very good point, actually. Yeah. It's a very good point.
But I do a lot of traveling and outdoorsy stuff and camping and stuff like that. So I got all kinds of gadgets and probably more than I need.
Yeah, nice.
If I can just do a person, if I can just jump in and be completely selfish on my own channel, if anyone wants to look in the live chat, Gary Weir, that's in the live chat, I've known that man since I was 11. I'm 36 now.
Oh, nice.
Shout out to Gary.
Hello, Gary.
Gary is now living in... Gary's living with the coronavirus in his country. He's over and teaching English to kids in... Gary, type where you are, because you move around that much. He was in Vietnam for a while. He was over there for a while, but yeah.
Cool.
Big shout out to Gary.
You got away from Robbie. What are you doing back? Like, run.
Well, he secretly watches, but I've been
Vietnam and Cambodia.
I've been sending him.
In like
he's in Vietnam.
3 weeks, I think. Yeah, Vietnam's a really nice place, apparently.
You in Ho Chi Minh? That's the only place I've been in Vietnam.
I would have thought Bangkok. Yes, Sassy?
Okay. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
No, didn't watch the damn thing you've made in this last 6 months. Sorry, go on ahead.
What'd you say? I didn't hear that part. What?
Oh, nothing. Go on ahead.
I hate when you... Never mind. So you know how I like weird food combinations?
No, I didn't know till you start making videos, and I don't watch them because marshmallows on pizza is wrong. So go on ahead.
But I recently...
Yeah, Jim.
No, I recently tried nacho cheese with cheesecake, and that was the most disgusting thing ever.
Yes.
There are starving children, and you're experimenting with desserts on entrees. What is wrong with you?
Hey, okay, I like weird food, and I like...
She didn't notice. I had to do it the second time. She didn't notice the first time. Hold on, we'll wait a wee minute.
Hey!
Did she notice that time?
What? That was done to me.
Troll.
I can't remember.
You cut out there for a second, Sassy.
For like more than 10 minutes, and everyone's laughing their heads off in the background because they just wanted to see how long it would take for me to notice I wasn't in the stream.
You what?
No, never mind. Be quiet.
I kick people I like generally. Their reaction when they come back tells me how much they like me. You come back ignoring it. John, when I did it, actually looked like someone had just put the cold end of a hot poker up his ass.
Is Watchtower still waiting?
No, he's right to your left. You're right.
Jeez, you can't sneak up on somebody like that.
Attention.
If it was a snake, you'd be dead.
Yeah.
So, Sassy, enough about me. Let's talk about you. What do you think about me?
Let's talk about me.
Is that a serious question?
That's all right. Go on. Serious question, right? What did
Just
you think?
answer the question.
What did you think of the discussion tonight, Miss Sassy? Back on topic. This will be in the after party. What did you think of the discussion tonight?
I am not even going to touch base on it. Nope.
Are you still repping the capital C?
I am not coming.
Okay, so she's away.
Oh, stop!
See, that's the reaction I was looking for. That was the reaction.
You cannot play the fifth on MathPig's channel.
Are you still repping the capital C?
So MathPig, I think you are funny, smart. You get on my nerves a lot.
She's gonna ask you out.
What?
Oh, where'd she go? Oh, there she is. She's back.
She's back.
Stop dropping out and ask while you're talking.
I didn't mean to. My finger slipped. Sorry. Go on ahead.
Sure. Okay. I'm trying to tell you what I think about you, and you keep on booting me.
Sorry, I don't mean to do that.
Look, his mom just wouldn't approve. I'm sorry.
Okay, that was the last one. Promise. I'll not do it again.
So how do you feel
of the show tonight?
What?
How do you feel about him?
I'm trying to tell him.
Instead of telling us about telling him, just tell us.
I was never mind. No, okay.
Right, you're still explaining.
You're stop doing that.
Well,
You're still on the show.
I don't want it. No, go back to everyone.
But I made you the center of the show.
Oh my! Is this pick on sassy night? Like seriously?
Okay.
They can't pick on you unless you allow them to pick on you.
No, don't.
I'll send you a book on Stoicism. It's only about 100 pages long. It's like a wee summary. It's very, very good. We overlay it, so it's quite good. Go on ahead, Sassy.
You are right now. You are annoying. You are
Pretty sure people can't be
mean.
annoying.
You are sarcastic. You are blunt, and you get on my nerves sometimes.
I think the entire synopsis of what you're trying to say is Robbie's a decent guy, but he's fucking insufferable.
From her point of view, that would
From
be true.
her point of view, I think that would be a nice synopsis. He's a decent enough guy, but he's fucking insufferable. Would that be right, Sassy?
No comment.
So that's a yes.
No.
When you say no comment, that's kind of a comment.
Saying no comment, a yes. How is that a yes? Stop that! Oh, what are you doing?
He's making you very big. Hey, listen,
What
if you
is
don't,
going on?
hey, millions of people may see this someday.
Miss Sassy, do you know what we're actually doing here? What we're actually doing here, Miss Sassy, is we are thickening your skin.
No, you are. Okay, hold on.
It's called exposure.
This is an intervention. You've had way too much
Jim,
dessert.
be
Pizza.
quiet, Jim. I don't want to hear from you, Jim.
Good,
Okay.
that's it. Stand up for yourself, Sassy. Tell Jim to shut the fuck up. Go on. Go on.
Stand up for yourself. Jeez.
So what did I miss?
Come on, say it. Are you,
Oh my god!
Sorry, my finger slipped.
You liar! Liar, pants on fire.
Sammy's
Ooh,
finger
that-
just
that
slipped.
deserves a kick.
Sammy, yeah, you just called me liar, pants on fire. We'll not talk about the.
He does not wear pants. How
Yeah,
how
so you-
dare you say he's wearing pants?
Sassy, you realize you put your camera on, and you didn't have to put your camera on.
No, but I don't want it. Hold on, I don't.
No. You don't get to decide. Here's the thing.
No!
You're not in
I don't want it
control.
completely. Like, if
This is the reality check of you're not in control, and that's okay. The only thing you can control is whether the camera's on or off. He can make your avatar big or your avatar small. He can make your video big.
My camera freaked out, and the only way to get it to work again is to restart, and that will end the stream. So I don't actually have that choice when I do this.
Oh no, we don't want that to happen.
See, that happens.
And then there was 5. Sassy.
Yeah, that happens when I try. Yeah.
What did you think about the show tonight with Richard and Dunkin Atheist?
I don't want to talk about it.
Why? This is the after show for that show.
Okay, you guys have been talking about cameras, about phones,
Did you want to talk
and
about
about other random
tampons?
stuff.
Or what?
How is that a relation to?
Do you want to talk about feminine products, tampons? What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I
Do you
thought
wanna
that
talk
was
about
quite funny. A fella I
Why would I want to talk about that with guys?
fella I work with actually still has a problem. He's close to 30 and still has a problem buying them for his girlfriend, which I think is absolutely hilarious. Like,
That is
Where did Jim
hilarious. That is totally hilarious.
Look, you made Jim leave now, Sassy.
No, he makes himself. No, he's
no,
he's
he
a
did
big
the
boy.
icon. He probably
He can come back on if
he
he
probably
wants to.
he probably.
I just.
You just. Zip.
Want a ziggy zig ah?
Oh my god! Wait.
Sorry, that button, that must be a hotkey.
Right? Express yourself.
Sassy, We do
really want to zig.
We do all of this out of love, because at the end of the day,
You do it to embarrass me.
No, for the same analogy that I explained earlier to John, the messenger reveals, I deliberately sometimes would drive not outside of my limits, but a little extreme, because then when you have an accident, you are prepared for it. Practice makes best. So if I thicken your skin and pick on you now, then whenever it comes to someone actually doing it for real,
Oh my!
you'll be a little thick. See, you're already better at it. You just come back. You didn't have a heart attack and freak out there. See, you're better.
I'm getting annoyed.
I know, but it's fun, isn't it?
How is it, Mickey?
Are you over 22 yet?
I'm 22. I'm 20.
That would be a no.
No, okay, no. No, I'm not over 22.
Yeah, I know sometimes the questions are tricky. It was a yes or no question.
Leave me alone.
I'm just trying to help you. Like it's active listening means you got to understand the question.
I ain't stupid either.
I did not say you were stupid, and you must think and feel stupid at the
your
moment.
Nerves kicking in.
No, I do not feel. I'm just saying.
I don't believe you're stupid because you can't answer a question correctly. I just believe you're not paying attention as well as you could have.
No, seriously, is this pick on Sassy Night? Like,
no, this is educating Sassy Night.
No,
I wouldn't use educating. I wouldn't use educating. I know.
See, you're gonna have this unique experience with all these interactions that become part of you over a period of time.
Can I make an analogy that Sassy may understand that would shorten this down and realize what we're doing and the fact that we do love you dearly? Do you remember Fight Club? Do you remember when he went into that shop and he took an empty gun and he took that guy out the back and threatened his life? He told him to go back to veterinary school, and as he explained, his breakfast will be the best breakfast ever. His dinner will be the best dinner ever. But, if anything, I know we're trying to do it in a jokely way, but whenever I, tell you that you're just fantastic and wonderful, it helps nothing. Whenever I point out your flaws, boom, it brings you back. We love you, all right? And the only way to grow and get better is to get used to these things. And as Messenger says, don't allow it to annoy you.
Yeah, because the more times you can not personalize something, like means take offense to it, or be frightened by it, or be angered by it, or be annoyed by it, the stronger and healthier you become.
And embrace the things that people are making fun of you about, and make them yours. Because as soon as you embrace it, there's nothing left to pick on you for. So, an analogy I like is if you're in class at school, you're a new student, and you let rip a huge fart in the class, you put your head down, you are going to be that boy that farted for the rest of your life. If you stand up and take a bow, the class clap and cheer and move on.
Just as you say that, Sammy, somebody on my very first day of school in the dinner, the people who had been there a year before in my school, because of where my birthday was, I was held back a year. So all of primary school, and when I hit P7, the people I was with in school 7 years then went on to high school, and I get held back a year. And when I got there the next year, I obviously hung about with them. And the very first day in dinner, they unscrewed the lid of the vinegar. And I put vinegar over my chips, and the entire bottle went over my chips, and they all laughed and joked. And as you say, man, I sat down and I ate the entire plate fucking clean, and I did not give two flying fucks, and was called Vinegar Boy for about a month, and I fucking owned it. That's the best way to do it.
Sadie sent you a DM, MathPig, on Twitter.
DKH is in the chat as well.
Yeah, we're just wondering where Jim is.
I don't know. I think Sassy scared Jim off.
And there's Old Man Dan as well. Hello.
That would not be. That's not even funny. No, man, that would be really freaky.
No, that's
serious. So Sassy, where did you go? You're like now no microphone, no video. Where you go? Pop back down here.
I would put my video up, but when I do, we have seen the results. I get kicked. It happened midstream. It freaked out, running too long.
Is that just a StreamYard thing, or is that something on your computer?
It's because I was using Snap Camera instead of the standard camera, and the Snap Camera program crashed. Do you know my floaty head thing?
Right.
The floaty head thing crashed, so I can go icon, or when I try to load up my standard camera, it goes bah and kicks me because nothing works then.
Sassy,
let's talk about
the greatest psychologist. His name was, in my opinion, was Albert Ellis. Albert Ellis had social anxiety.
Hold on. Can I just interrupt?
This is for Sassy.
No, because in your opinion, his name is what you said.
Oh no! I'm sorry. I meant I got my phrases. He's, my opinion, the greatest psychologist ever, and his name was Albert Ellis. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah, I just had to pick on you a little bit to make myself.
He had social anxiety, and that's why he came up with cognitive behavior therapy, which he called rational emotive behavior therapy. But he, you know what? One of his exercises was, Sassy, that he did for himself. He would tie a string around a banana and walk it through the mall and walk it through the grocery store. So one of your tasks is going to be in the next 2 weeks to take a banana and walk it down the aisle of a grocery store.
I ain't doing that.
Because here's the thing. When you are drawing all the attention to yourself in a way, because you probably want to avoid attention more than anything because of your own social anxiety, it will cure your social anxiety because you're like, I'm welcoming all the unwarranted attention because people think I'm crazy walking this banana down the aisle. And then when you get really cool and you get really confident, you'll start talking to it. Going, come on, let's go.
Are you being serious right now?
You can look up the study. You can go look up the stuff. I'm telling you the truth.
John, just to back John up on this, less than 6 months ago, I came home from work. I'm wearing a pair of jeans that I probably haven't washed in about 2 weeks because there's no point. They're at work. They're just what I wear to work. They're black. They're disgusting. They're being held up with a fucking set of cable ties. One on my left and one on my right because I couldn't find my belt. I'm wearing a muscle top, a pair of slippers with no socks on, and I'm walking across the street from the shop to my woman, and she's looking at me, and I give her the whole in the middle of the street. And then she bows her head in the car in shame. And I get into the car and I'm like, what? And she's like, the fucking state of you in the middle of that street. I don't care. I'm looking like a fucking tramp and a hobo and not worth anything. And I don't care. And that's the point that I think John's trying to make. You get over the social anxiety of what people that look at you think. You feel more comfortable in yourself.
I don't have social anxiety.
It's a bad choice of words, perhaps, but I think that's the point he's trying to make. If you're comfortable in yourself,
you have social anxiety.
Something else that I found useful personally. So when I used to DJ, I used to get really nervous, and I used to get quite freaked out, and it would ruin my performance. And I was sat down in a pub one evening with a friend of mine who was a lower league professional football player, and I was talking to him about it. And he said, well, look, he said, what you need to do, he said, every time I step onto the football pitch, I believe in my mind I am the greatest football player on the planet. I believe there is no person better than me at that moment. He said, whether it's true or not is not relevant. He's like, just believe, get in the mindset that at that moment you are the best on the planet. There is no one better than you. Yeah. And he's like, just get that in your head. And he said, at first it'll be difficult, but the more that you do that, the more it will allow you to fulfill your potential. And the first time I did it, I found it really difficult to get my head around that. But over time, it would literally, I got into the state of mind where as soon as I stepped up there, in my head, bang, instantaneously, I am the best. And it didn't matter whether I was or I wasn't. But the point was that it allowed me to be the best that I possibly could be.
See, can I just say something, Bill? The problem I have personally with that is because you can tell yourself that you're the best and then someone comes out and destroys your dream. The personally I would find is be comfortable with yourself, and that's what your end goal is. as you say, towards the end, it didn't care whether you were or you weren't. You believed that you were. I think that, not to put words in your mouth or say your mindset and straw man you or anything, but it's the fact that you get to a point where you just don't care. You tell yourself you're good enough to the point where you don't care if you are or not.
Yeah.
You need to become comfortable in yourself. I think if you go around thinking you're the best that you are, now I'm going to just shorten this to 2 phrases and like be an asshole about it, but if you go around thinking you're the best that you are, you can become a condescending asshole. If you go around being comfortable in yourself, you can trip up and fall down a flight of stairs and stand up and be comfortable in yourself. I think being comfortable in who you are.
If I can add an example to that, when I was younger in high school, I was in a band and I was the singer. And
band did well.
No, it didn't matter what anyone said to me. I thought I couldn't sing, just saved my life. And it wasn't until I just kept at it and kept performing, and the more people I performed in front of them, the more people would come up to me afterwards and say, "Man, I didn't know you had that in you. You're great." Even though I didn't believe a word of it, I had to accept that these people genuinely thought that, and regardless of what I was thinking in my own head, I had to believe them. You can't trust your own internal monologue, especially if people around you, are telling you otherwise.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, so to me, it didn't really matter what people said at that point, and it's not about having a mindset, or like, it's difficult to explain. It's difficult for me to put into words, but it allowed me to be the best that I possibly could be. It allowed me to fulfill the potential that I had, and I would knock it out of the park, absolutely knock it out of the park. Because I just convinced myself at that point, there's no one better than me.
Well,
I didn't express that to people. I just got in my head.
Well, can I ask you a follow-up question to that now? Can I ask you a follow-up question to that now? If you were still popular and still, not that you're not popular because you're Bill, but if you were still in that scene and still doing that thing in the mindset that you are now, would you go out onto that stage tonight? And would you play still thinking that you were the best, or would you play?
Fuck yeah!
Or would you play comfortable in your own skin, knowing that you're doing your best?
I'd still to this day would believe that, would get myself in the mindset of I am the greatest DJ on the planet.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So you actually 100% believe when you are DJing on that stage that there is nobody in your genre out there better than you?
No one, not even in my genre. No DJ on the planet better than me. Whether that's true or not isn't relevant. The point is that my believing that is the case allows me to be the best that I possibly can.
Yes, that's the point I'm trying to make. You actually think that you're better than them at that moment in time. Which gives you the strength.
Damn right.
Yeah, so it's not a case of I don't believe, it's not true, but I'm going to believe it anyway. You actually believe it is true.
Yeah, to the point, I mean...
The point I'm trying to break it down to is what I said earlier. Do you get to the point when you're on stage, but I think I'm going to be a total asshole here, and I think that you don't want to admit, is when you go up on stage now, you're comfortable and you know you're doing your best, and I'm totally strong man and no true Scotsman in you and being an asshole and stepping over the mark, but it's the same as what you said to me whenever we first started going over the agnostic and atheist thing. I said I was an atheist because that was the term that I knew best, and you were like, "Oh, wait till you hear Steve. You'll agree with Steve better than you agree with other people." And as most people here in this chat know, I don't fucking agree with Steve and everything he says, but I do agree on that. So that's the point I'm trying to make, though, Bill. I think when you get up on stage, and I'm totally being an asshole, I think when you get up on stage, I think that you are more comfortable in yourself than you are actually thinking that you're better than every DJ out there. I think you've become comfortable in your skin.
I performed on stage in front of hundreds of people.
What did you perform?
Yes, I did.
No, what did you perform?
Oh, I sang. So,
Okay, cool.
But I remember the very first time that it was a talent show and I got up on stage and man, like I was so nervous throughout majority of the song that I was afraid to, look at the audience but then for some reason something just clicked and I'm like, okay, I don't care. And then I started, I wasn't nervous anymore, but, and then, a few years, it was like 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago or so, I performed at a talent show again. And I was a little bit nervous, but nowhere near as nervous as I was the first time that I performed in front of people. And MathPig and a lot of everyone else in the live chat, they were like, you've gotta just get over your nervousness, and because everyone always asks me to sing every time, and then I'm like,
she ain't no Beyonce, but she can sing better than me, like.
Did you say I'm no Beyonce?
You're no, but I have said this to you before, Sassy, right? And I'll say the statement that I just last said. You are no Beyonce, but you can sing better than me. But because of the fact that it took you, because of the fact that you had the confidence to start another channel, to start your singing channel, right? Please, somebody who is sub to her singing channel, post the link in the chat. No, but let me finish this. Let me finish this, right? I have tried then, because I said to you, if you sing, I would come on with you and I would sing, and I thought that I could sing better than I can, and I recorded myself, and fuck, can I not sing? Now I've been trying, I've been talking to Nerdy, but the fact that you did that has given me the confidence to particularly do that and at least try, and I'm willing to improve myself and put some auto tune on there to make myself sound better, but I'm willing to put that out there. The fact that...
Yes. Can I high five you, Sassy? Like, spiritual high five over the airwaves. Here we go. Because that is huge. I had no idea you had a singing channel. I'm going to go and sub to that right now.
Actually, before anyone does, I need to actually get better, a lot better mic and everything, and so like
going along that
I'm not
journey
doing anything on that channel, so there's no point in like subbing or
Sassy. But you know what you do? You go and you set yourself up a wee fucking PayPal or Patreon, and I can send you a link for a £52 mic that'll pick up perfectly. £52. You put 20 quid to it, you only need £30, and I'm sure we can all chip in 2 or 3 quid. We'll get you set up. That's the whole point of it. We're here to help each other and build each other, and you give me the confidence to then try that. I'm now considering it. So, don't let me down. If you fucking change that, I'm never going to sing again.
No.
I sing in the
Jim has not had a heart attack.
How about we sing a song together?
Pressure's on.
Yeah. Just in case you guys were worried, Jim has not had a heart attack. He's fine.
Oh, you got to hold him on DM?
Yeah, we got that.
Bye, Jim.
Are you on Twitter, John?
No, I don't have Twitter. I don't have anything except for Discord and YouTube right now.
Yeah, well then you need to talk more on Discord, because there's a Discord group and there's the Twitter group, and this is where all the buzz be at.
Well, I'm on the Discord, but like I said, for the last 6 weeks, I've just been pretty much out of commission, so I haven't been around much other than popping in chats here and there. But now, like tonight was probably the first night I really felt like, if something, especially when I saw Dawkins, I'm like, please let him be in the after show, and I'm like, no, he'll bitch out before then. So.
Yeah, well, I was aiming for an hour, and we got 49 minutes and 52 seconds.
If you can ever get him in a live stream with me, that would be epic.
John, we will try and set it up. Does Darth know of you?
I challenged him on MDD. Supposedly he wanted to come on and debate me on the Raging Atheist a long time ago, but we were doing something different. Like he popped in the chat and goes, "Let me on. I'll talk to this messenger." And then we're like, "It's not the time. Let's do it another time." And then he's never been around. I want to debate him on his knowledge of the Bible because I don't think he knows shit.
Well, if we can, if you want to contact him, I will give you his details. You can personally contact him, and I am offering up my channel as a platform. Don't go to Modern Day Debate. I love James, but give me the views. Come to my channel. I will host.
I don't care. I don't care where, and if you want to have it here, I'm happy to have it here. I'll have it on a street. You know,
well, I know that just if Darth is listening to this, okay, and I will probably snippet this and put this out specifically, send it to him so he knows. Darth, I hope you know that my view is, I'm an atheist, but this is a platform for anyone to come. Look back through my videos. There's Christians here. We've got Messenger Reveals, who is, I wouldn't say one of the most hated people in the community, but there's a lot that disagree with him.
I'm not hated whatsoever.
Exactly, that's what I said, man. You're not.
What?
This is an open platform.
I love the guy.
Yeah, we have Catholics on here. Sassy's a Christian as well, and this is an open platform for you to come on and have a discussion. And if you're open to having a discussion with Messenger, with John, yeah, definitely host it here. I didn't even jump in that much tonight.
Sassy's more of a yo-yo than a Christian.
Well, when I first met Sassy, she was the sassy atheist. And
how long have you been in the background? Because I have been looking at the wrong screen.
Yay! I think John told you about 15 minutes ago.
Hi! I kicked you in defense of Sassy. See, Sassy, I kicked him for a wee minute in defense of you. Hello, Doorknob Head. Thank you for joining.
Hello.
Is that a new bandana? Was your bandana not blue?
Oh, it changes color. Magic.
The magic bandana of doom.
I was thinking of that movie, the Japanese movie that was redone in the English with the speaking tongue. When he had the speaking tongue, there was a cow.
I'm all choppy right now.
The Kung Fu cow, and there was the scene.
But it's so nice to hear Doorknob Head's voice because you just only see him in the live chat.
Kung Pao, that's what it's called.
You're crazy.
Oh.
Sorry.
Sassy was so excited. We all are focusing on her.
Yeah, sorry. Let's all look at. Hold on 1 second. My finger may slip.
You don't have to be focused on me.
Whoa, there she is. Speak up, girl.
Focus, focus, focus.
Sassy, can you do the wee dance? Do you know when you put your arms out? Right, put your arms out in front of you, Sassy. Go on, put your arms out in front of you, both of them.
Why?
No, this is not dirty in any way. Stop worrying. Put your hands out in front of you.
He wants you to do the Carlton dance with your hands. Plainly wants you to do the Carlton dance.
Come on, Sassy.
Come on, do it.
I'm not doing the Carlton dance.
You put your right hand in. You put your right hand
You put both your hands out. Put both your hands out in front of you. I'm not taking you down to do this, Sassy. Put both your hands out in front of you.
I'm not doing whatever. I'm not doing it unless you tell me why.
Because it's fun. Put your hands out in front of you. In fists.
Okay,
right? Make them fists.
Okay.
Turn your wrists up towards the air.
Yeah.
No, that's turning your hands around. Turn it back the way it was. And just arch up your hands. That's it. And then do the... bring it into your chest and back out again. Go on, do the dance.
Circle that shit.
Go on, circle that shit. Circle that shit. Come on, make them circles.
Circle. Make them circle.
Stop it.
No.
I'm not...
John's doing it. Look, there you go.
Like that? Oh.
Just like that.
I was doing it!
Puppy.
There you go.
Cabbage patch it.
There you go. You feel better now?
So how about that walking that banana?
Yeah, walk that banana, bitch.
Oh my god, no! We're not back to that.
Yes, you can walk whatever you want. Walk a banana.
I I walk.
You can walk like an Egyptian.
Sassy, you can get them fake dog leads that are stiff that don't move, like an imaginary fake dog. People will think you are full-blown Richard. Sorry, I mean crazy. Love you, Richard.
So I have a question. Messenger, what's your opinion of bipolar affective disorder?
It's not the same as a fake dog lead, but go on ahead.
Bipolar affective disorder.
Yeah, or bipolar disorder.
Well, there's for diagnosed in the DSM when it's coming down to mood disorders, there's bipolar 1, bipolar 2, there's schizoaffective. So, I mean, are you referring to where people are going between depression and mania or between depression and hypomania?
Between depression and mania.
Okay, that's bipolar 1.
Yeah.
And what was your specific question regarding bipolar 1?
I would you actually believe it exists, I guess.
Right.
At least.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That is a real diagnosable psychological and biological disorder.
Which requires medication, right?
100%. I don't think you can treat.
Cool.
I don't think you can treat bipolar 1 without medication and have any type of effective help for the client to be alleviated from the symptoms and the swings.
Yeah, all good.
Usually it's a mood stabilizer, antidepressant, sometimes an antipsychotic.
Yeah, I have to take antipsychotics.
So, I mean, I have a close friend.
That explains why you were never Bill's dead here. I woke up and he was standing above my bed with a spoon. I didn't know what was going on there. Did you leave your tablets at home?
Yeah, like I have a friend who, like, when he's off his medication, he actually believes he's Jesus Christ, and he can't function without medication. He also has severe PTSD from when he was in the army. So he's got multiple diagnoses that he suffers,
which is also has a physical component, right? PTSD.
It's a psychological thing because it's dealing with trauma, and it's dealing with trauma in a way that you can't process it in a healthy way. And when you have stress continuously and over from trauma, and it turns into other things, it does affect the biology in the brain, no different than a lot of things do. Whether it's too much anxiety, too much depression, too much stress, too much anger. You rewire like if people are doing drugs over a period of time, the drug alters the mind, the alcohol alters the mind, the pornography alters the mind. I mean, when you have an excess of anything that's addictive in its nature, it's going to affect the biology. But it doesn't mean it's a permanent thing in a lot of cases either.
All right.
But when you're talking about bipolar disorder, there's almost always a neurotransmitter chemical imbalance to where neurotransmitters aren't functioning the way they're supposed to. No different than somebody who's diabetic and they're not processing sugars in the way that their bodies would normally be designed to do it. So it needs insulin. So.
As you say that, Bill actually gave up sugar for about a month and then ate like a Mars bar and had a massive sugar rush.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
So, when people talk about psychotropic medication, in some cases it's necessary lifelong. If it's ADHD, I think it's a lifelong treatment. If it's bipolar 1, it's a lifelong treatment. If it's schizophrenia or schizoaffective, it's a lifelong treatment. Like the psychotropic medication is designed to help bring your neurotransmitters, which are chemicals in your brain, into a normal range so that you can function, so that you can think and reason as if you could if they were working properly.
Cool.
So.
All good. Anyway, change the subject.
Let's talk about Darth Dawkins.
I was about to say, just as a funny note, I taught my wee girl how to use an Xbox controller to play Tekken 6 2 days ago, which I thought was hilarious. She played Roger Jr. and beat up the bear because she likes animals. I don't know what way you can take that, but she loves animals, so that's the one she had to pick to beat them up. I just like making excuses.
Gary Weir, I'm all about psychedelics for treatment. I think psychedelics work quite well under the right circumstances.
If Gary's comfortable,
especially
if Gary's comfortable, I would send you his links, Bill. You and Gary would get on well. Gary is very
about using psilocybin or DMT. They're doing testing for those in many different places and seeing, how they help people with PTSD, how they help people with bipolar 1 disorder, how they help people with anything that's related to anger, anxiety, stress, or depression.
I personally, I find DMT very, very, very helpful. It's not something that I would recommend. I'm not the sort of person that would recommend drugs to anybody, but like DMT really helps me. Once every few months, it really does. Like for a while afterwards, I'm really, really level and really chilled.
What does your prescriber think about your use of that along with the psychotropic medications you're prescribed, if you don't mind me asking?
Prescriber?
Well, prescriber is somebody who gives you treatment for psychotropic medication.
Oh, I understand what you're trying to say, but I don't think Bill gets his DMT from a prescriber.
No. I didn't say he got DMT from a prescriber. No. What they think about his use of it.
So I've told them, I've told my psychiatrist,
right,
and I've told them that I use DMT from time to time, and cannabis, and they're like, well, I don't use cannabis for the moods. I use cannabis for pain-killing functions because I have joint pain. But anyway, and they're basically fine with that. Like in the amounts that I use it, they're cool with that. I think so. Because of my history of use of other substances, I think they would be more concerned about that. Do you know what I mean? So, like, for example, the weed thing. When I talk to my doctors, to my psychiatrists and stuff, and I explain that, okay, I use the weed for painkilling because I don't really have any other option because I'm asthmatic, which means I can't use any kind of anti-inflammatory because that triggers my asthma. And I can't use any kind of opiate-based painkiller because I just can't have opioids in my system, because if I do, that's it. like I'll just, you know what I mean, all day, every day. So I think they're like, well, it may be not perfect, but it's better than the alternative. Does that make sense?
Well, sure, because I mean, chronic pain can certainly affect a lot of different things in adverse ways if it's not treated, whether it be with opioids or using cannabis or using, any type of. I mean, when you look at things like even fibromyalgia, I mean, that's one of the most, in my opinion, debilitating things because they don't even know how to identify what's causing it.
Yeah, one of my best friends has fibro, and she suffers terribly with it. Terribly.
And it's horrible because there's like with whatever I'm sure that you're dealing with physically, it's diagnosable, and with fibromyalgia, it's the lack of diagnosis.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, I'm heading out, everyone.
Good night, Sassy.
Night.
Good night, Sassy.
Good night.
Bye, Sassy. Bye, Sassy. Bye.
Night, Sassy. Night, Sassy. Here,
Everybody
Sassy.
loves you, Sassy.
Sassy.
Get over it.
Sassy,
Bye.
Sassy, you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Will you tell everybody the name of your channel that you sing on?
What? No, I
Just do it.
I will message you privately.
Okay, bye. I'm only joking. Okay, thank you very much for jumping on, Sassy. You're well loved.
Thank you. Finally putting me on.
Everything we do is because we love you.
Okay.
I had to do it one more time. Bye.
Bye. I'll message you, MathPig, about it. Bye.
Oh, poor sweet Sassy.
Who was that person?
The sassy atheist, I think.
No, she's not the sassy atheist. She is now Miss
India
something, and
Miss
she
India.
she is born again Christian. John.
I know she was a Christian and then she went to atheist, so she's back to following Christianity.
Oh no, you missed 3 steps.
Yeah, apparently so.
You missed 3 steps. There was.
I'm sure I did.
There was neo-paganism and there was some other thing in there as well, but at least she's found herself now.
Yeah, I used to follow her channel when she first started booting up, but then when she let Atheist Rationale continuously time me out, I'm like, all right, I'm tired of this shit. So that I haven't been on her channel in like almost 9 months. So I probably missed all that shit that happened after that.
Yeah, no, everybody goes through their journey, and as you explained earlier, man, it's not, and she fucking hate me for saying this, because when people mention her age, she has a fucking flip out, but she hasn't been through as much life as the rest of us. Look at Doorknob Head, that man's been through he's been through a lot.
Yeah.
I have.
Just because I'm old as dirt?
Well, technically, Spooky was in the year above God in school. So, yeah, you're as old as dirt. That's only 4.3 billion years. Spooky's 14 billion years. That's a few.
Was Doorknob Head kicking boots with Moses?
I don't remember seeing no Moses.
I bet you remember seeing a flaming bush, though.
No comment.
It was a neatly trimmed bush.
No.
Damn them burning loins. Right. Well, on that, have we any questions from the chat? We've got Spartan Theology. It jumped in a wee while ago. Gary. Oh look, Miss Sassy's in the chat. Yeah. We've got John in the chat.
Geo Sam.
Yeah. Everybody, I really do appreciate you coming out tonight. I don't know what way we were going to expect Darth to go. I was hoping there would be a better explanation, as John explained earlier, from Richard's point of view, so Darth knew a better starting point to go from. I did try to mod that.
I think that in all fairness, I believe Richard was waiting for Darth to strawman him, and Darth didn't do that, which is what I think he was expecting. And I think that if Darth would have strawman Richard would have went into the explanation. And Darth was just trying to uncover. He goes, I don't know what I'm dealing with in Richard, so I'm gonna dig through this, and once I know it, then I'm gonna go after him. Well, and we never got to that point.
I think that's why I made the statement that Richard stop beating around the bush. I did say that.
To be honest, I think maybe he thought that he was being trolled as per usual. I think that was part of the problem. He thought he was being trolled, like it was a setup. And that's why he just went, you're wasting my time.
If we're in a conversation with Darth Dawkins, of course it's a setup. I mean, he's only asking questions to get to that point.
In all honesty, he did ask me.
I think Darth thought it was a setup. I think he thought that Richard didn't necessarily believe what he was saying, that he was just trying to troll him, basically. That's what I reckon.
Well, I didn't. He did ask me. He said, "Send me the link now." About fucking 12 hours before the show, and I was like, "I haven't. I'm on my phone in the kitchen. You know, I haven't set it up yet." And he asked me who Richard was, and then the only message I sent back was, "When I make the link, I'll send it to you." I didn't want to give him heads up because I felt if I give him heads up, he would not come on because he would think it is a setup. Because Richard's views are that far out of the box.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a setup. I mean,
no, Richard generally wanted to have the chat with him, and I feel, and Dave as well, Critical Cripple, felt the fact that Evolution False, Dunkin Atheism, Darth Dawkins, whatever you want to call him, has been turning up in an awful lot of chats, inappropriate chats, like as I mentioned earlier, the DaveCon information video premiere. You know, that's
I don't know what that is, but...
Well, DaveCon is... Do you know Faithless Forum?
No.
Faithless Forum was a group of atheists all getting together, and content creators and pagans and stuff all getting together in America. This is like the UK version. There's 180 tickets. We've got Aaron Ra and a few other people and things like that, and it's going to be good fun. It's only for one night. We're staying 2, mainly because
it's all these people. Fun.
Yes, the reason I'm going, mainly 99.9% of the reason I'm going is because I'm going to get to hang out with the people from the UK that I've been talking to online. I'm going to spend 3 days staying in the same place with these people, getting to know them, getting to have the crack with them, getting to go out with them. Fucking Dave, Bill. Dave's taking us all to a gay club on Friday night. I don't know what way that's going to end up, but we're being dragged
to be fair, that's fine by me. Like you'll probably find that that some of the people there will be friends of mine. To be fair,
I've no problem with the gay club, but the point I'm trying to make is we're getting to know the people a wee bit more and a wee bit better and a wee bit more in depth, and that's why I'm going. But it's a conference, so to speak, Joe. Totally lost my trail of thought now.
Got it.
I love London as well. I couldn't live there. Like, there's no way I could live in London, but I love visiting London for a weekend. It's great.
It's the 4th of April. Oh, we've someone in backstage. Who have we got? Is that a penis? It's not a penis. We're not being porn bombed. Who is Jarrell Cage?
Yo, what's up?
Evening, my friend. Do you want to introduce yourself so we know who you are? I'm thinking pirate from the icon, but would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Jarl. I looked up Darth Dawkins on YouTube, and it led me to your stream over here. So.
That just proves that the tags work, man, because I've never seen you before. Tags.
Yeah, I don't know you, MathPig, right? But it led me here.
Well, it's good to meet you, man. It's I don't know if you're a Christian, theist, atheist, agnostic, whatever you are. We have a multitude of people on here. We accept everything. I'm Irish, so we use the term crack, spelled C-R-A-I-C, which is more banter, fun, and we're aiming for a platform, thinking of a pool table at the back of a pub. Everybody can come and talk their shite, say what they want, be called assholes, and still come back the next week and have fun with friends.
You know, there's only 2 people that actually get that. Well, maybe 3 of us potentially that get that reference. Pool table at the back of the pub.
I don't care.
Most people are like, what?
They can all fucking Google it, man. Everybody can fucking Google it, you know. Sorry, man. Just to say your name again, is it Jalkridge? Jackridge? What?
Jarl. You know what? I pronounce it like a Y. Jarl Kage.
Jarl Kage.
Yeah, it's a combination of Jarl and Kage.
And are you American? You don't have to keep muting, man, unless your audio is really bad.
Well, fine. Yeah, I am American.
Are you a supporter of Darth Dawkins or an opponent of Darth Dawkins?
Good question.
Well, sir, I would love to answer your question, but does your worldview account for knowledge and truth? Well, I mean, I am a fan of Darth Dawkins, but I disagree with him on a lot of issues, including his precept script.
Cool.
Would you consider yourself a theist? Or I hate putting myself in a box, man. I really do. Just to say that up front, I hate putting people in boxes. But could you put yourself in like 5 or 6 boxes so we can have an idea of what you're about?
I'm an atheist through and through.
Welcome.
Well, that's 2 of us at least.
But I'll say this though, I'm a real atheist, not one of those like, oh, I like belief in God. No, there are no gods, motherfucker.
You see, that's why. You see, that's quite funny, right?
Own the burden of proof. Anti-theist.
That would be quite funny, man, because I would refer to myself as atheistic towards the Christian God of the Bible, but agnostic in general because of the exact opposite of what you just said. I generally don't know, like.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but you're all wrong.
Do you know of Messenger Wyal Cablan? I do apologize, but it is 4 o'clock in the morning and I have had a bottle of wine.
That's a good thing.
Oh, have you drank a bottle of Bucky?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
Man, I started as soon as I started the Darth stream.
Yeah, I'm the only atheist in this chat.
Right, I'm going to mute everyone and let speak there. I'm not
We're
being
speaking, is that what we're doing?
I'm not being disrespectful, YRL kids, I'm just being jokey. If you want to say your bit, because I am generally interested in who you are, and your icon is very intriguing. So if you want to have a wee chat there, I'll mute everybody.
Oh, I was gonna say, since you asked me for like 5 labels, Britt, and I gave you one, since Bill Ashby's profile has an Antifa flag.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I have a anarchistish leftist leanings as well. So.
Cool. Okay. We're cool.
That's very good, man, because I know out of the multitude, I think I'm up to 60 videos now, I could safely say there's less than 5 people who have actually caught that, and people who have mentioned that they don't like Antifa and that entire mentality who have not known that that is that flag. So definitely with Bill, you've just gained about 5 points.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry, carry on.
No, I mean, I do dislike Antifa, but like, the philosophy of libertarian socialism or anarcho-communism, whatever you want to call it, yeah, I have sympathies towards it.
You're gonna fit right in here, man. You're gonna fit right in here. So yeah, you went looking for Darth Dawkins. Did you watch the actual interview, or are you only jumping in for the after party because it was live now? And did you actually see the discussion between him and Richard?
No, I didn't. Like, okay, so I was actually looking for this funny parody that this guy called Penis Tooth made, right? and then I found your stuff on the results, and then I saw this live stream going on. I'm like, well, I'm really bored, so I'm gonna go talk to some people. And you actually had a link to the friggin' stream in the live chat.
Oh yeah, well there's 13 people watching, which isn't much, like, but we're generally, I'm really boring, so fill time. Yeah, nothing better to do. Come on in. I don't know if you Discord. I also have links for a Discord. It's quite active. We have people like Sammy who lives in. It's actually tomorrow for Sammy, I think, compared to you. Sammy lives in the future. Sammy is Watchtower Watchers. He's ex-Jehovah's Witness. And we've people all over the world in Discord, man. If you're into Discord, conversation's always buzzing.
I do use Discord quite a lot, so I'll check out your server.
Yeah, the pigsty description below. We Twitter as well. I'm not big into Twitter. I'm only starting to learn Twitter, but I live in Discord. So if that's your thing, hit me up on Discord, man. We can keep the crack going. And yeah, there's a lot of us in there. We've got one Calvinist who has stopped posting as much as he used to, but we have everybody from Calvinists to anti-theists to we've everybody there. It's good fun.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just my phone is dying, so I'm just plugging my shit in before it dies on me.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of rounding up now anyway in the next 15 minutes or so. So if you've any questions, if you want to ask anybody here, man, to get an overview of what the community we have here is. If you're only recently figuring out who I am, there's an entire community here, all different types. If you're on Discord, I'll send you down a route. We have Christian servers, we have atheist servers, we loads of different stuff, and we're all genuinely quite friendly.
Oh, great. I'm tired of these dysfunctional Discord communities.
No, we don't do drama. Well, personally, I don't do drama, and I don't know if you watched Non Sequitur and that whole drama and the general arguments of tag and this, that, and the other, and when people go down when people get down scripts, I call them out, and I call Christians out as much as I call atheists out. Yeah, it's good fun here. We try not to do the same sort of shit as what everyone else has done before, and yeah, even on a Thursday, we have a guy on a Thursday I have here on the show that is an ancient alien believer, and we're going through the Book of Enoch, and he's trying to put his point of view on the Book of Enoch, and I'm trying to tell him he's wrong.
Ooh, I would love to talk. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's cool. He's a really good dude. He's the guy that was actually talking to Darth Dawkins earlier.
Yeah.
That's how you ended up getting him.
Wow. Ancient alien believers versus a precept. Fantastic.
Yeah, it would have been great, but Darth Dawkins quit because I'm pretty sure he thought he was being trolled, even though he wasn't, and he couldn't go for his script because. No. Richard's like, I 100% am a believer. I believe 100% in the scriptures. I just have a completely different interpretation to what you do.
Richard has spent 7 years writing a 59,000 word paper on his beliefs to cover his ass from every point of view. And Watchtower Watcher, if he's still there, will back us up. He went and picked something that wasn't in his paper, a completely aboriginal story, and Richard had backed it up that much that there was... yeah, you tell it better, Sammy, than I do. He's not there. He's not there.
He didn't have permission to leave.
He's gone to a better place.
We need to talk to him.
But Richard has backed himself up in every single point of view that you can think of. He's very, very good. And I started meeting Richard and talking to Richard to disprove his things. And he recently only found a video that I did like 4 months ago. And it was me trying to bring in someone who knew the Jewish language to disprove the interpretation that he was getting. And I felt bad because now I know Richard that well. He's just such a nice guy. Mm-hmm. He's an ancient alien believer and thinks that there's been 23 Earths before us, and heaven is actually 29 spaceships the size of the moon that will come within our lifetime and surround the Earth. And we're going through the Book of Enoch to either prove it or disprove it. It's very good fun.
Well, I would love to talk to him because I have some conspiracy views about history myself, but I won't go as far as, aliens taught the Egyptians how to build the pyramids, but I mean, they're still French.
I used to be a conspiracy theorist. I used to be into all of that. And then eventually I pulled my head out of my ass. I had no choice, because I was talking earlier on Messenger about my bipolar. Because of that, it sent me down some deep rabbit holes, and I would just go completely and utterly. I was gone, completely gone, and then I had to fall back on logic and reason because it's the only way that I can actually distinguish between what is real, what is reality, and what is not. Does that make sense?
Do you use stuff from a philosophy? Go ahead, Carol.
I was going to say, I do respect that, but I believe the Sphinx is at least 7,000 years old, and there were Ice Age civilizations. Go ahead.
I don't
necessarily disagree with that. I don't necessarily disagree with that. But then that's not really a conspiracy, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's not like they're trying to hide the fact that that is a disputed thing. Do you know what I mean?
No, I understand. Yeah, there's no way they're hiding that fact. I think the evidence for it is all over the place, all over the Sphinx, all over its enclosure. They're not hiding it.
That's one of the things that I'm looking forward to. So the Mayan civilization was far bigger than they realized. And as I was saying earlier, next year, in May next year, I'm going to Guatemala for 6 nights, 7 days in the jungle, on a proper jungle expedition, where we're going to be going to some Mayan sites that haven't even been excavated by archaeologists yet. We will be some of the first people outside of the local direct guides and the local people, some of the first people to actually see those things.
Sammy's back.
You back?
He just popped his video on.
What's it? Somebody timestamp that. 2 hours, 7 minutes, 40 seconds. I'm making a GIF. That's what's going to happen when you subscribe to my channel from now on. You're going to get a GIF of Sammy. Bad.
Why did I do that?
I have to say though, right? I don't know if anyone knows. Sammy, who is Watchtower Watchers, is a Patreon of mine. I only have 2. He is my biggest Patreon. He gets to see all the behind the scenes stuff. But on a personal note, he's one of my best friends on the internet. I've only about 3 or 4 of them, and I would definitely consider Sammy as one of my best friends. That man is true to the bone. Loyal as a dog, and he'll fuck you off when you need to, and he'll give you a hug when you need to.
Hey Yarrow, you have a question from the side chat. Somebody asked, does he like Graham Hancock?
Oh, I actually do like Graham Hancock. He has his woo-woo views, right? And yeah, I mean, I'll disagree with him on the woo-woo, but I think he's correct about the Sphinx. I think he's correct about Ice Age civilizations and maybe even the history of America too.
Can I ask you a question? Are you a fan of Michael Tellinger?
I don't know who that is.
You don't know Michael Tellinger? Oh,
He just said he didn't know who he was.
Michael, I know you smart ass motherfucker. Michael Tellinger is... Hold on. Michael Tellinger is a South African guy who believes that he has found the ancient Sumerian gods, the Anunnaki's house in... He's found their houses in South Africa. There is circular stone. Yes, they are circular stones. What people would call enclosures, where they kept cattle, and because of the type of stone, it messes up magnetic frequencies when you walk inside it. And he is now claiming this as power stations. He has found Adam's calendar, which is a cliff edge where witch doctors. Oh man, it's where we were originally converted from our Homo sapien into a Homo sapiens. I'm drunk, so I apologize, but look up Michael Tellinger. He does 3 and 4 hour long lectures. Sound waves can make things move. He has a collection of stones. It's full blown entertainment.
And he believes the Anunnaki were aliens, right?
The Anunnaki are aliens, and not that the Anunnaki went to Sumerian. The Anunnaki's gold mines were in South Africa, and he has evidence of this.
Oh my God, that's... so I know Zechariah Sitchin's, man, so I'll probably like this guy.
Oh, Zechariah Sitchin is a giant fan of his, and Zechariah Sitchin is a giant leader. You know, he believes Zechariah Sitchin. He's actually got his own show now on the Gaia Network. That's how good Michael Tellinger is. He's got his own show on the fucking Gaia Network. The Gaia Network, Gaia, whatever, GHIA. It's like Netflix, but for the woke people.
Well, it's like, okay, like, you know, I think these types go a bit too far with their views. But I do agree with them that mainstream archaeology and history has some flaws with it.
I was a big fan of Michael Tellinger and the ancient alien theory and the Akashic field and stuff, which is why I like Richard so much. Personal, and it's probably another reason why I would be agnostic, because it's hard to let go. It's not that I'm afraid of death, but nobody really wants to end. I don't want to be away from my family. I love my daughter. I love my girlfriend. I enjoy being alive.
Well, it's funny how many atheists, including myself, have said to Richard, mate, if your God pulls up in a spaceship, I'm there. I have no problems with that whatsoever.
Yeah. Okay. I was worried. Everybody's gone now.
I'm here.
Oh, we're here.
I'm here.
So, Bill, were you on Lucy Luxor's channel?
Could you not hear me?
The beard guy?
I have been before. I have been, yes. Yeah, I have been on Lucy Luxor's channel before, yeah.
All right. I didn't mean whatever I said. Just jokes.
You're
never
good,
was.
You're all good.
Never was. It was just jokes.
In the private chat, I've put Michael Tellinger's Wikipedia link. From there, I'm sure you could work through that.
Oh, I'm gonna love this guy.
Yeah, you're gonna absolutely love this guy, man. I've spent hours watching this guy. He's so entertaining. Plus, he's got an entire movement called Umboto, where he wants the society. It's totally socialism, but without money, and yeah, crazy is brilliant. Hours of view time. Yes, Gary, I would agree with you. I get a shitload of Gia fucking adverts all the goddamn time.
Yeah. Is it meant to be named like after
Mother
the
Earth?
Earth goddess? Yeah.
Yes, Mother Earth. Think Final Fantasy, the Spirits Within movie.
Yeah. I think it's pronounced Gaia.
Gaia.
See, Gaia is Gaia. Gia is Ghia.
Oh, okay. Yep. And what's the difference?
You know,
what's the
I'm
other
not entirely
Gaia?
sure. I don't know. I know that Gia. The only reason I know that is because it was a Ford Escort. A variation of the Ford Escort. Carmen Gia.
Gia's, Bill, you're right and you're wrong. Gia is actually a spec of car, which is 3 down from the top spec. It goes top spec, which would be ST, then you have your titanium, and then you have Gia.
Yeah, it's just a variation in it, Carmen Gia.
But what I mean is it's not relative to just the Ford Escort. It's a Ford specification. That's what I mean.
Okay, is it a Ford specific, not just the Escort, but a Ford specific?
Oh yes, like if you went to the Audi and you got the S line, if you went to the Audi and got the S line, that's one down from the best. You know, if you went to...
Can we though compare such an old word like the name of Mother Earth to a modern car?
No,
just because they pronounce that Gia, I don't know that means that's how that was pronounced.
Thank you for moderating there, Sammy, and keeping us on track.
That's right. I mean, I hear Nissan pronounced Nissan, and in Australia it's Nissan.
We can look at everything. Is that what's going on?
It's Nissan or Nissan.
No, I don't think Doorknob can hear me. So when I talk, he thinks it's silent. You may need to refresh.
Try again.
Can you hear me now, Doorknob?
I hear you.
Ah, there we are.
It's a StreamYard thing.
Yeah,
it's a StreamYard.
Every time I spoke, you thought it was silent.
Just to say, on that topic of what you're saying, Sammy.
One of those things. Okay, yeah.
The Vauxhall Nova was known as the Vauxhall Nova everywhere, but Bill knows the Vauxhall Nova, the SRI Nova and all the rest of it. Do you know why that car bombed in Spain? Because Nova, it means don't work or broke down or something like that in Spain. So
that's the same as the Toyota MR2 in France, isn't it? Because ML2.
We're totally off topic.
In French is shit.
Totally off topic now.
So the Toyota MR2 didn't sell in France because it's a shit car.
We are totally off topic. We're going to round this down now because I'm getting quite drunk and starting to slur my words and all the rest.
Can't tell.
Pardon?
Sounds the same.
What did you say, Doorknob Head?
Sounds the same. Can't hear the slurry.
That was either a compliment or an insult, whichever way you want to take it.
I will take it as a compliment because when he came back, he was shocked. He lifted his head and arched it like a little dog looking for a treat. That's the reaction we're looking for. Well, I definitely have to say it was fun tonight. I enjoyed myself. Doorknob Head, did you actually see the debate, the discussion?
Sure enough did, yeah. Richard did well.
Yeah, I think Richard did well.
Keeping his composure, yeah.
Yeah, and he called him out. I don't felt that I needed to moderate more than what I did.
Yeah, you did well. I think so.
Yeah, I'd like to do better, and I have a debate with Jill on the 23rd over which society is better. John, did you know this?
No, I did not.
Jesus is Lord has been whinging and nagging at me because I didn't invite him back on because he didn't turn up. But we have come to a decision that on the 23rd, which I think is a Sunday, of this month. Which society is better for the people as a whole? A secular-based society or a religious-based society? And that is the discussion we're going to have.
Who is it going to be? You and he?
It's going to be me and him, and Tug is going to be on his side as a moderator, and I'm bringing on Peter Turek from Gonna Go For It as my moderator.
Gotcha.
So
that should be a good one.
Yeah, I think we're good. And we came up with a topic.
Is he actually going to have a dialogue, or is it just going to be like a very moderated debate where you speak for 5 minutes and then he says nothing and he speaks? Like how is that format going to go?
This is the thing. Me and Jill decided upon it on a live chat that we would have something, and then I had to hang out with a few friends and then noticed that Jill was live, so we all went over to Jill's channel and we hashed it out live on stream. We're going to do 15-minute openers a piece to describe what we personally think is the best society, and then for 30 minutes we are going to hash back and forth and defend our opening statement, what we think is the best society, and then at the end we're going to have questions and answers from the audience.
It'll be interesting if he does anything outside of talking about what he wants to talk about. Like, even when people ask him direct questions, he tends to just ignore the question and respond and talk about what he believes is true about whatever he thinks is true about something, not even related to a question. So it'll be interesting to see if he can operate outside of that.
Well, he did get quite annoyed that I used the phrase, which is better, a secular society, a society based on secularism, or a society based on religious. And he felt it was me trying to strawman him rather than saying a Christian, directly going secular and Christian.
So he has a problem with the word religious.
Yes, it was the problem with the word religious, so I did promise that I wouldn't bring up anything about people cutting their hands off or anything like that.
There's a lot of Christians who consider themselves non-religious.
My mother in particular.
Sure, because there's sometimes there's just in the terms of with the church, it's a negative connotation to be a religious person.
I think
rather than a spiritual person.
I think in using that word, not going down that route, I think in going down the route of he was afraid that if I used the word religious that I would bring in multiple religions and say this, that and the other. He also tried to specify that rather than saying secular versus religious, it was going to boil down versus USA versus like Switzerland or Norway, one of these secular countries, which we have agreed upon it's not going to be country v country.
Right, because sometimes religious gets into...
You'd get shit on. If it was country v country, you'd get shit on.
Yeah, because sometimes with religious, Sweden, people think of it as like laws and stuff like that.
Well, he tried to get my questions out of me for 15 minutes after we had decided upon everything. He had agreed. And then I had to leave because I felt the need when he was saying things to retort, obviously. So to hold myself back and not give all my points away, I left. He then spent a half an hour talking to Peter Turek, who had helped us, who was in the discussion to coming up with the title. And then Peter had to leave. So he, not that I'm saying he's scared, but I think we're on good ground. No? Yes?
Yeah. Be alright. It'll be alright.
It could go no worse than what tonight did, and I was aiming for an hour and I got 49 minutes and nearly 50 minutes. I was so close to 50 minutes.
So like 40 viewers?
43, don't
Yes. Oh, 43, sorry.
43, yeah.
Sorry. 43.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, there was about 15 to 20 minutes of real content, even in that 43 minutes.
It doesn't matter, people watched it. And just to say, we have got to meet the man in the top right-hand corner, who I'm going to butcher his name again, Yarkage. He's gone.
Jarl is there.
Jarl Kage.
What's up?
Sorry, I was saying. I says, even if anything happened tonight and how bad the debate was, at least we got to meet a new person, and then I'll butcher your name and go Yarkage.
Sure. Maybe we should just name all your... Go ahead.
You can call me Dan if you want. That is my real name.
Yeah,
so
that's too easy.
Call me Robbie, man. Call me Robbie. Yeah, Dan.
Hey,
that's so much
Dan,
easier.
where does Jarl Kagi come from? I haven't heard that.
Oh, okay. So yeah, comes from Jarl, which is like means chieftain in Nordic languages, and Kage from Naruto. Which is basically the king or leader of the village.
Okay.
Night Maynard.
Yeah, you're about a day late and $1 short on that one,
The
man.
same word in either Scandinavian or Japanese.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, well, you see
but
that?
I mean,
no, I was
So
just
it's basically kind of like king or chieftain.
Yeah, but it sounds cool.
Like ATM machine.
That's the main thing.
Cool.
Do you know whenever he said that and the fact that you repeated it twice, all I thought was couscous. That good, they named it twice. Why my brain works in these different ways, I do not know.
Bottle of wine and 4 a.m.
It's not quite 4 yet. It's 25 past 4. No, it's grand. It's grand. I have very much enjoyed myself, and I'm over the moon about meeting a new person who was willing to jump straight on stream.
Sure.
Dan, thank you very much for that, man. Really do appreciate it. And it's always good to meet new people. That's the whole thing. If you watch the trailer for the channel, at the very end, it's after parties and community building. We want to meet new people, bring in more voices, bring in more points of view. The wider the base, the better the survey, so to speak.
Sure.
The more realistic point of view that you get. So,
Dan or Jarl, what communities on YouTube are you a part of that you frequently visit or are a part of?
That's a great question. Well, I mean, maybe not communities, but I watch a lot of individual YouTube, Messianic Maniac, Darwin's Greatest Hits, and that kind of stuff.
Tom Rabbit.
But I mean, okay, I do keep up with like the, what's left of the Great Debate community. But
you're not going to mention
my
Steve McRae.
Twitter activities.
Are you talking about the Steve McRae, Kyle Curtis debacle?
Great Debate community is a little different. It's the Steve McRae, but not so much the Kyle Curtis. It was prior to all that. The Great Debate community.
The Great Debate community was prior to Steve McRae as well, and I can show you a video to prove that, Sammy. But we're not going to get into that because we like winding each other up. Me and Sammy are better. It's fine. It's really good to have you here, man. I'm now rambling. We're losing the views. Everybody's going. We're going to work our way around. Bill, give yourself a shout
out. Now you put me on the spot. Yeah, I'm Bill. You'll see me around YouTube, around Discord. I don't do a lot except chat shit and have a laugh. So yeah, thanks very much.
And Dan, do you actually have a channel yourself? No. Yes.
I don't think Dan Jarl, go ahead and open your mic up and shill your channel or talk about whatever you wanted to.
If not, we will see you in Discord, man. Check the description. The Discord link's in there. Maybe your mic's messed up. Doorknob Head, I'd ask you to shill your channel, but you're a comment fiend. Shill your colon.
Comment whore is what I am. That's about it.
Yeah.
Just having fun in the comments is all I do.
No, that's not true. There is an actual...
What?
No, that's not true. There is an actual picture of Doorknob Head's colon floating around the live chat.
That's true. I got my colon is more famous than I am. That's the way it goes sometimes.
Sub to Doorknob Head's colon. Yeah. It decided to open up its own YouTube channel.
Oh, somebody knows about my colon.
Oh, my YouTube page. Oh yeah, man. I'm subbed 4 times to your colon.
Oh, are you? Oh, you're 4 of the 8 subs then. Nice.
Oh yeah. 50% of your viewership comes from the MathPig army.
Okay.
John, would you like to do a shill?
Sure. One of these days I'm gonna get back to doing live streams on Messenger Reveals, talking about theist and I guess, biblical content. I don't subscribe to the moniker of Christian, but I am a theist who believes in God and Jesus, and I talk about the teachings of Jesus in a very different way than modern day Christianity. Over on my Unplugged from Worldly Thinking, I talk about human behavior and how to become a better version of yourself. A lot of secular, psychological, and clinical counseling concepts and terms discussed there. And going to be booting up Reality Unplugged, where we're going to have a whole lot of fucking fun. And one of my brothers from down under in Australia is going to join that. He's an atheist. He's going to join Patrick and I on that channel, and we're going to have a lot of fun there. But thanks for having us, MathPig, or thanks for having me.
Yeah, John, just to say, if you need any help with setting up any scenes for Discord or anything, yeah, I get bored. I set up like 7 today, just because of nothing to do.
Yeah, you're good people in that way, so when we're ready, we'll definitely give you a call, brother.
Know, man. Just let me know. Sammy, shell out your non-existent channel with the only video on it that I made. Go for it.
There's another video on it now.
Oh, does, yes, sorry, yes.
I'm more of just a troll with a brain at the minute.
That's my line, you motherfucker.
Yep, and I stole it.
Motherfucker.
You bastard. Yeah, but about to start. I don't know how often I'll be churning them out because they are looking like they're going to be quite long videos, so it might be one a week sort of thing. But I'd love to have a chat with you actually, John, because I'm sort of focusing on techniques used by fundamentalist religions to dupe their masters and then keep them duped.
Sure.
Rather than just sort of looking at doctrine and stuff like that, I actually want to look at
I'm not a big fan of mainstream modern day Christianity, so I would love to have that conversation.
Yeah, awesome.
Sammy's a wee sneaky bastard. I introduce Sammy to people that I talk to for about 20 minutes and be like, yeah, I'm going to talk to this guy. This guy's really good conversationalist. I'm going to enjoy this. And then Sammy, being in Australia, stays up all fucking night relative to me and has 6-hour-long conversations with people and finds out everything and doesn't record it. Doesn't let me in.
If you can show me how I record Discord conversations,
You just open OBS. You open OBS and hit record. Really simple.
Of course. Fucking OBS.
Well, yeah. Tomorrow night we've got Spartan Theology, who's in the chat. I have very little information on Spartan Theology. I know he's a Christian. I've met him in the Discords. He's been a regular viewer, and he's very genuine. So I'm looking forward to that. We're going to find out all about him tomorrow. And apart from that, everybody can fuck off and go to bed. So I love you all.
Well, you go to bed and I'm going to stay up and talk to your friends all night.
Oh, you duh. Well, I'll still be awake for a while, but I can't be talking because it's getting late and I'm going to wake somebody and then I'll get shouted at. So everybody, thanks very much for turning up. Really do appreciate it. I don't know why the fuck yous are here. Oh, no, I do. Because I've got that Irish accent. It's nothing to do with the content whatsoever.
It's just a wee bit of an accent. Just a wee bit.
Would you stay away from me, Lucky Charms?
No, don't ever do that again. Whoever that was, don't ever do that again.
Get away from me, Lucky Charms.